West states. An insurmountable lead. Donald Trump could have the numbers to secure the Republican nomination by this time next week.
They call it Super Tuesday for a reason. This is a big one.
Rival Nikki Haley lost every single state on offer tonight, bar one. Even as Trump builds a massive lead, exit polls showed 1/3 of voters in battleground states said he would not be fit for president if convicted of a crime. His first criminal trial will begin in New York at the end of this month.
Now turning to 5AA's sport, Crow Riley Thilthorpe will be sidelined for at least 3 months. The timeline blowout follows successful knee surgery. Meantime, Josh Rochelle says he'll be ready to go for round one, despite suffering a corked thigh at training today. Well, the AFL will pay tribute to former goal umpire Jesse Baird and his partner Luke Davies before tomorrow night's season opener. Umpires and players from both clubs will observe a moment of mourning, with all wearing black armbands as a mark of respect. Perth's Optus Stadium will host two powerhouse Italian soccer clubs, AC Milan and AS Roma, in an exclusive match. And Brian Goorjian has been unveiled as the new Sydney Kings coach. Now checking 5AA traffic.
No better time or place to jump into Jayco than at Jayco Adelaide's brand new West Beach dealership.
Afternoon at Ongabringer Heights, a crash there, Churchill Road near River Road. Kilburn, another collision there, Prospect Road near Grand Junction Road, and a breakdown at Leewood Gardens, freeway up track near the tunnels. Speeds reduced for works at Coromandel Valley, Main Road near Black Road, that's down to 40 at the moment, with the camera Blacks Road at Gullis Plains. Turn your electric dreams into reality. Get $2,023 cash back on the award-winning 2023 model BYD Atto 3 for a limited time. Visit BYD today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly sunny this afternoon, mostly sunny tomorrow 33, sunny on Friday 36 and 39 on Saturday. Right now it's 34 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Bragless. Tonight, a bizarre rampage, then gunpoint arrest in the city.
The police come so fast. Oh, I'm so scared.
On 9 News, see it happen. Plus the simple tips to lower the cost of running your car. And meet the Adelaide train driver.
Good morning, you beautiful, magnificent people.
Putting smiles on travellers' faces. 9 News. Your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show.
Get around the little guy!
Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Pick the beauty!
Yes, welcome 5 after 4 on this warm one on a Wednesday. Some big decisions in the footy world and some big news stories as well, as we are right on the eve of the AFL season. Stephen Rowe, Tim Jennifer, good afternoon.
Oh, thank you, Sam. The first day of 7 where the temperature's over 30, going to touch around 40 this Saturday, and footy is back. Crows and Port, well, they've got a few days off. Timmy, Webster, well, he's going to have 7 weeks off.
Yes. Well, I think it landed sort of in between where we were going. You were going 6, I was going 8, so it went right in the middle. So probably not a bad result as far as the sports show goes.
Yeah, well, it was a brain fade. 6 was probably light from what people are saying. 8, I thought, was too heavy. So 7 was just right. Here's Dopey.
Firstly, to Jai and Jai's family, I'm really sorry about what happened on the weekend. It's something I'm really embarrassed about. It's not what I stand for as a person or a player. So yeah, I'm really sorry and hope you recover okay and back out there playing soon. To the North Melbourne Football Club and the footy people, I'm sorry about my actions on Sunday. Yeah, it's not something I'm proud of, and this is something we really want to stamp out of our game. So yeah, I'm going to miss a fair chunk of footy this year. So 7 weeks on the sideline, and rightfully so. Yeah, something I'm not proud of, and yeah, just hope Jai's doing okay.
I say dopey because it was a dopey act, but that was Jimmy Webster, very contrite, but really the fat lady sung. Good night.
Oh, you could see after the incident when he was running around on the field, I could see his face. He was a million things were going through his head, going, "Oh, I'm so done. I am so done." I can see, you could just see the pain. So it was a massive mistake, and unfortunately for Jai Simpkin, he's now got to try and recover.
He will. 08 Barry Hall, King hit Brent Staker. with a flushing blow to the side of the head, knocked him senseless.
Well, I went.
That's the same penalty.
I went and traced that back. That was 2008. That's 16 years ago, which absolutely stunned me. It was.
So
that
the game
long
and
ago.
society's moved on. What would that get now?
Barry Hall?
Someone do that today.
20?
Yeah.
I reckon
$7.
I reckon it'd be right up there.
Yeah, God. He returns round 8. This is if he gets back in the team straight away. Guess who St Kilda play round 8?
No. North Melbourne. Oh, serious?
Hey, the Big Crows news, I think it's going to impact their on-field season. I mean, honestly, Riley Thilthorpe, he's had his meniscus, if you like, cartilage is how we used to call it, repaired by an arthroscopic surgeon. It's not reports, it's fact. He's going to miss up to 14 weeks, 12 to 14. Lockie Murphy on Monday. I reckon he let the cat out the bag. Have a listen.
He'll miss some time, but yeah, he was in good spirits today. Well, as good as can be, and hopefully he can attack the back half of the season. And he was in really good shape this summer, so we're looking forward to getting him back.
You picked that up too.
Oh God! I said if Thilthorpe has a great year, doubles his numbers from last year, he could be 1 or 2 or 3 spots up the ladder. It's probably winning those close games for me. So he's out for 14. You need a month to get fit. You know that. So that's 18. You probably need 2 to gain some sort of form. That's 16. I mean, honestly, Riley Thilthorpe injury for me has darkened my enthusiasm for the year. What are you doing here? What?
Well,
what's this?
I need you to pick your lip up. I've got to say, when you walked in today...
What are you doing? Well, hello, darkness, my old friend. I made a comment.
No, that's the way you've walked in. You've had nothing but a big dark cloud over your head.
Geez,
you've walked
Timmy.
in, the chin's down, the lips down. It's unbelievable. I honestly thought, oh no, they banned whiting.
Cheer me up. No, but that's a massive blow.
I just thought, you've sold your Nereus.
Timmy, it's a darkness over me.
Yeah.
For the year, my enthusiasm.
I've never seen you like this. It's really hit your heart.
I'm that excited about this season. Well, okay, Himmelberg. We went out last night. His nickname is Hummingbird. That was funny, wasn't it?
That's the
With
boys.
the boys.
Yeah, but
Burgess.
But he's been playing full back in the trial.
Well, that's what I mean. So this is his route. These are the options they have in the next 10 days. In 10 days' time, we play Gold Coast on the Gold Coast, and Witts is 211 centimetres. Himmelberg.
Yep.
Burgess, who's 194. Gallant, Strawn, or Small.
So
Burgess, or Riley O'Brien,
Burgess has done a lot of that second ruck work,
honestly.
But that could be the option. Plus, you're playing Gold Coast, which he's familiar with, so they might go with that option.
Now, you gave me some stats. I'll read them out. Well, Rowey, hang on, pump the brakes. What sort of a year did he have last year?
No, I just wanted to make sure that, I'm trying to pick you up a bit. That's all.
Good song too. Play it again. Hello, darkness, my friend. It's got me in the mood.
It's a different version of Simon Garfunkel.
Darkness, my old.
What were they called? Disturbed.
Who's with me? Is there a dark cloud over you?
You know what it does?
16 weeks.
It robs Crow supporters of seeing him develop.
Yeah.
Seeing him advance this year. That's what it's done.
That is a great point because you were all going, well, what did he do last year?
I did not say that.
Well, what if he doubles these stats? He kicked 18 goals, averages 0.9 of a goal a game. So he doubles that. He could have easily done that.
Easy.
3.5 marks a game. He was doubling these numbers in these first 2 games.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we're going to miss. I mean, honestly. Hello, darkness, my friend. That was very clever, Timmy.
I need you back up.
Yeah, come on. Pick that little bottom lip up. 822 300 Crow supporters. $50 Powers voucher, and we got the scooter.
Yeah, and you've only got 10 days. You've only got 10 days until the Crows play. So, chin up, come on.
Still on the Crows, the AGM, they posted a healthy profit over $1 million. They're debt-free, which is terrific. Revenue's up, membership up, crowds up. They're tracking nicely for a bank to, underwrite a $100 plus $110 million redevelopment at FIVEAA. Actually, while I'm on that, we had a text yesterday. I've seen some of those A2 posters around the 5031 postcard popping up, and they're asking residents to, I guess, really arc up. This is what it reads. The Crows are landing. How will you, in capital letters, you be impacted? Check the plans and be a vocal local. Respond to Planning Commission consultation. in big red bold letters.
Yeah, we've got a unique home-style food text asking exactly that. What's with all the signs and flyers around FIVEAA against the new Crows development? So I hadn't seen it, but you've got...
Well, I have a feeling it's going to turn into another Cornu site.
Can you not, like I said to you the other day, can't you get on and make a positive comment? Does it have to be derogatory?
Well, you can, but this is the third and final public consultation, and there's a groundswell of support with the 5031 Action Group to pot this one. What more do you want?
Can't people that love it get on and say, hey, I can't wait for it to happen and things like that?
It's just a joke.
You can't get that?
No, I don't know. It's a joke.
Okay.
They didn't announce Matty Nick's contract extension, so we've got Tim Silvers on at 4:30.
CEO.
Tim Silvers is in Sydney. Why is he in Sydney? Every president and CEO is in Sydney for the season launch because it starts.
Is it they're having their...
Well, the season
AGM?
launch is tonight.
Yep.
They've got all that. That's tonight. And tomorrow, footy starts. So that'll be great to catch up with Tim. A good set of numbers for him. This is the big one for me. Sam Kerr is our Matildas captain. Probably our best player, one of the best players in the world. And I think today...
Out injured?
She is. She's done her ACL. Australia's highest profile sports person.
Yeah.
She would have to be up there with the tennis players, the golf.
Yeah, Ash Barty's retired, so
In actual fact, I'll say this. I reckon she's our highest profile sports person today.
Okay.
Now, she faces criminal charges if you haven't kept up with them. She kept the Matildas, I guess Footy Australia, her coach and teammates in the dark for 6 weeks after learning she was being charged for allegedly racial aggravation and harassment of a police officer in London. Now, a lot of people, including our Brekkie show, David Pemberthy and Will
Goodings,
and this bloke, Craig Foster, have sort of like gone from 0 to 100 and basically teed off at Sam. Have a listen.
I think the game should definitely consider it. This is a live issue right now. We're talking about racism, which is really serious. Players have repeatedly been stood down, but yes, the game has to wrestle with right now what is the appropriate way to deal with what is a really difficult situation.
Now, I know he's ripper, Craig Foster. I'm not going to knock him. Not going to knock out
he does a lot of great work.
well, but I've read the entire story. I've read everything I could today. I'm sorry, but for me, there's nothing to look at here. She doesn't face the courts until January, February next year.
I can't believe it's that long.
So for a whole year...
On things that happened a year ago. So it'll be 2 years.
Yeah, so for a whole year, Sam Kerr's name will be dragged through mud, and I don't care what anyone says with social media. Half go one line, the other half go another line. I don't know what the answer is, but she's not going to lose her captaincy to the Matildas. Could have she spoken to her coach? She probably confided in her manager and maybe confided in a couple of teammates. And in her eyes, she's probably thinking, what in God's name is this?
Well, until she was...
So we're going to hang, draw and quarter her, are we?
I think until she was charged, I'd forgive her for not saying anything because she was probably thinking, well, maybe I'm not getting charged. So once she was, that's probably the 6 week period that she should have told all those that are probably, closest, and that is the FFA, her club Chelsea.
Yep.
So just to get to those heads and say, look, heads up, I'm letting you know this has happened and it will come out at some stage. It's just how we manage it from here, and I'm put myself to you to sort of say, get prepared. So she didn't do that. That's probably where she's in, what would you say, in a bit of hot water with those organisations.
Let's take the greatest accolade you can have is to captain your country. Let's just take that away from her.
Well, that's the other point I say.
I mean, honestly,
I don't think you can issue any punishment on that side of it until she goes to court. And until she's either proven guilty or innocent, you can't start laying out punishments.
Well, but that's exactly right. The legal advice, from what I've heard coming through, is a little bit thrown out. And the other thing is, there's all you can Google her name and what was said. There's everything. I mean, it's awful.
Because people are just making...
But it's awful.
They're making up their own assumptions.
But it's awful.
Yeah. Well, once upon a time, you couldn't do that. You just walked past people on the street and, perhaps thought, well, maybe they don't think that much of me or whatever. You made your own mind up. Yeah. Now you just read it anywhere.
So should Sam lose her captaincy of the Matildas or cop a sanction, as others are saying? Have you say about that? 822 300 00. Or for God's sake, are you with me? Innocent until proven guilty. This happened over a year ago. Took a year for her to find out. Okay.
Or get charged.
Who knows who's advising her?
Oh.
What if a man... Nothing to say. Mate, I've spoken to the lawyers.
Yeah.
It's going to get dropped. I've spoken to the public prosecutor. It's going to get... So don't... nothing will come from it.
As much as other people are assuming one thing, we're assuming that as well. And we're assuming that she's actually received some advice. We don't know.
Well, that is right. But everything that I've read, there's nothing to look at here. Have you say 8223 0000, Australia's highest profile sportswoman, has been a little bit loose with her lips after a Chelsea game, and people want to hang, draw and quarter her. What sort of a world are we living in,
It depends on what
Timmy?
she said too, so let's...
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, thank you,
and
Spider-Man.
that is one thing we could keep in mind here too.
Why
So
don't you play old Darkness?
have you say 223 0000. We will get your thoughts on the program after the break. First though, Tim Silvers is coming up shortly. Heath Shaw's going to come on the program tonight. Where are they now? At 5 o'clock. And Jade Rawlings, our Norwood coach and state coach as well, Timmy, which you're helping out very closely with for the year ahead.
Absolutely. Got a unique homestyle food text that is said, hey, Timmy and Rowey, with only 2 days to go before the Glenelg Sturt trial, you going to get anybody on? Well, actually, Stephen, we're rolling through the whole SNFL coaches. So far we've done South Adelaide. We have
Eagles.
Done Eagles with Sam
West
Jacobs.
Adelaide.
West Adelaide down Hartlett, and tonight we're doing Jade Rawlings. So we are working our way through the whole list, getting a preview of pre-season and what's going to happen for the season, Stephen. So keep listening to 5AA and you'll get it.
Still a few weeks till the sample season starts as well. They start Easter weekend. Your calls, 8223 0000. Every caller that goes to where goes in the running to win that Benzina sports scooter worth $8,500, all thanks to Steinborn Automotive. So get your thoughts on the line right now, 8223 0000.
Adelaide is in fringe mode and you'll see the hottest shows at Gluttony. Thanks to 9 News and 5AA, you could win tickets and hospitality for you and 3 friends. Watch 9 News nightly at 6 for the daily featured show. Then listen to Breakfast with us, David and Will, 6 to 9 weekdays on 5AA. The hottest shows are at Gluttony.
It's Edward here from Edwardstown Mazda. I can't tell the time yet, but I know it's running out to save on a 2023 Playtune Mazda. If you come in now, you'll get the best deal ever on all 2023 Mazdas. I pinky promise. And remember, Edwardstown Mazda is the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. Numo umero, baby. Now play that jingle thing. It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda.
Imagine bouncing out of bed in the morning, brimming with energy, and all before your first sip of coffee. New Caruso's Vitamin K2 and Ubiquinol is a game-changing formula with 2 powerhouse nutrients to support your body's energy production and energy levels and maintain the health of your heart. Caruso's Vitamin K2 and Ubiquinol is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
They've even got A5 flyers they're handing out to all the residents of 5031. I don't know.
They're working for their cause, aren't they, Steve?
My goodness. Anyway, Magic Millions SA Race Day is fast approaching. It's Saturday, March the 9th. It's the Thomas Farm Race Course, Murray Bridge. The SA 2-year-old classic is a season highlight. $200,000 in prizes.
It is unbelievable. Get trackside from just $20 a person. Kids under 16 free. And there's plenty to keep them entertained. They got rides, they got Farmer Darcy's Travelling Farm, they got all sorts of things happening.
There's also still time to grab a seat on the bus. That'd be a smart thing to do.
Best way to go.
Check the website to see which stop is closest to you.
Correct. Don't miss Magic Millions SA Race Day. It's Saturday, March 9th. That's this Saturday, 11 a.m, Murray Bridge Racing Club. Turn up on the day or visit racingmurraybridge.com for tickets and details. Don't let the game play you. Stay in control and gamble responsibly.
Back in '69, Frank Hutchison started a journey when he met Bill King, who ran a remote travel business. King needed four-wheel drive parts so strong, so reliable, they'd make the return trip after enduring the rigours of the Aussie outback. This forged Terrain Tamer's beginnings. Over 50 years later, Frank and his team continued to innovate and create parts strong enough to survive the toughest terrains on the planet. And best of all, the customer is still king. Terrain Tamer, parts that will get you home.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're gonna miss the game if we don't get this TV working.
At Sip and Save, you won't be getting mixed signals from us. Enter at sipandsave.com.au today and you and a mate could be winning a VIP game day experience. Just snap up any Great Northern Super Crisp 30-pack for $59.99 for your chance to win. There's also Johnny Walker Red Label Scotch or Smirnoff Red Vodka 700ml bottles for just $43.99 each. You can expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service. Terms and conditions apply. Prices may vary in country areas.
Sip and Save. There's more in store.
Hearing Australia's Hearing the Nation tour is coming to Adelaide, delivering free hearing checks for adults. Search Hearing the Nation for more.
Hearing Australia.
Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 4. You can watch on the Foodland live stream or on Facebook and YouTube as we speak. Get involved in the show, 8223 0000. Riley Thilthorpe's out for 12 to 14 weeks. Who's got a dark cloud over them, Crows fans? A few of you will. And should Sam Kerr step down as Matilda's captain? We'll get all your thoughts next. Here's your traffic.
Afternoon at Ongaringa Heights. A crash to look out for Churchill Road near River Road. Prospect crash there too at Kilburn. It's just near Grand Junction Road. And a breakdown at Leeward Gardens Freeway up track near the tunnels. Slow for works at McGill, Penfold Road near Adelaide Street, with cameras Blacks Road, Gillis Plains and Gage Street at Firle. More snuggly sleeps for less at Big W. Mix and match women's sleepwear with tops and pants, only $9 each. That's more for less at Big W. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Let's go to Marino. Hello, Gav.
Hi, guys. I'll just ring about the Sam Kerr thing. I've got a stepson who's a cop, been a cop for 10 years. He's got lots of mates who are cops. And look, they get called all sorts of things when they're out on the beat. So it just amazes me that a British cop would take umbrage to something Sam Kerr said to them. I mean, geez, what have they got over there? That's so pathetic to me. It's really bad.
Well, we don't know what was said, so it's all speculation. But Sam Kerr herself has an Indigenous background, yes?
On mum's side, and dad is Indian.
Is Indian. She's openly gay.
Exactly. I'm Anglo-Indian myself, so, and I came out from India as a kid in the mid-'60s, and, back in the mid-'60s you got called plenty of names and stuff like that, and, the Australian way is you just, water off a duck's back and get on with it. I played low-level footy and low-level cricket, and got called plenty of things while I was playing, all sorts of things, but you just get on with it. I can't believe a cop over there has taken, offence to something. Even they get called stuff all the time, which is wrong, and it shouldn't be the case.
Right. That's right.
But why have they picked one particular person out? Because she's an Aussie?
Well, I don't know what was said. It's all speculation, but I'd be very careful with commentary, because when we actually do find out what was said, you might end up with egg on your face. You're saying, "Well, she should have lost the captaincy." And then you go, "Oh God,
I'm just
wait."
I am a bit bemused by the system too, that it's taken a year to be able to be charged, and then it's going to take another year to actually answer the charges. Why would you let things hang around as, what would you say, lower end of the scale as far as what police deal with and the like? 2 years? That's just staggering. This should have been in and out and thrown out or whatever, or charged within 3 months. We should have the result.
And our police should be held at the highest of regard. I mean, teachers used to be, bank managers used to be, and police was certainly, even AMBOs and all that.
But again, there's an old-fashioned rule: innocent until proven guilty, and that's what's not being played out here.
Hello, Vinny.
G'day, boys. How you going today?
Good,
all right?
Excellent, mate.
Good. Look, I was just thinking about Thilthorpe. Look, I know he's injured for a while, but I was thinking, that young lad's drawn in the B grade there. Let's bring him up, bring him at centre-half forward and change the ruck. They can rest that centre-half forward for a little bit. Just change the ruck. Everybody's saying the same players, but let's have something different, something to change. Having two tall guys, I know if it rains, forget it. But if it's a dry day, give the boy a chance. We're going to waste that lad. We've got to put him into the A grade.
I'd give him a crack.
Change the ruck.
Yeah, well, it's either Himmelberg, it's either Strawn, it's either Burgess or Gallant, and I'm picking Strawny for that, especially up against Witch with two ruckmen. But good on you, Vinny. There's no darkness or dark cloud over you.
Hey, Rob, we got one for you here. Riley T out for 3 months means Tex Walker must kick 50. Fogg must kick 35 plus, needs strong forwards. Jury is out on kicking enough goals and winning 13 games to make the top 8, says Kendall. What do you think of that?
Well, he only kicked 0.9 last year with the best kicking team in the comp.
I'm just going to...
But I'm what the blue sky was for him.
Yes.
So if he doubled his stats, what was to come? Hey, Tom Doedee, the dude, he ran off to Queensland, I think, as a free agent. You have every right to for greener pastures. And on the way out, he had a little bit of a crack at our South Australianisms. Have a listen.
When I was in South Australia, because I'm born and bred Victorian, I didn't ever really subscribe to those things, the pie floats and that. They just made no sense to me. And I think as a Victorian, you're sort of just like, you want to remain a Victorian because there's something about being a Victorian sort of thing. So I sort of never really got completely into that South Australian culture. So even fruit chocks, things like that, I didn't quite enjoy, which South Australians probably won't like to hear me saying that. But there's something about South Australians that they just love their South Australian things. And if you're Victorian coming from afar, Farmers Union, all that sort of stuff, like I just didn't quite buy into it. So I've almost found it refreshing to come up here and not have them there and not have people like hammering like 4X like beer. Everyone loves 4X beer up here, but it's not as if they're like, 4X what you have to drink, whereas South Australians will do that with a bit of Coopers and things like that sometimes.
I mean, has he got his words twisted? Has he been misrepresented? Has he had a parting crack on the way out? He's a proud Victorian that lived here, didn't subscribe to all that. Now he's gone up to be a cane toad, and don't let the door hit you on the way out, dude.
Nice one, yeah. Look,
fruit chocks. Why would you pick on fruit chocks?
He's picked on all the icons.
Giant Twins, fruit chocks, Farmers Union.
Yeah, why don't you have a go at the frog cake while you're at it, mate?
I tell you what, if he had a crack at Unique Homestyle Foods,
he would have been in trouble.
That would have been the last straw.
No, but it is.
He would have got a knuckle sandwich.
I know that there's been a bit of social media talk and the like, and he feels like he's been taken out of context. But
yeah. He's replied to a tweet on Twitter saying, out of context media wins again. Am I going to have to defend these comments soon?
Well, why? He's blatantly just said, I didn't subscribe to any of it. So I think it's pretty plain and simple what he said. I didn't like it.
Well, interestingly enough, Dave and Will tomorrow morning on 5AA Breakfast will have Tom Doedee on the show. I'm sure
miss that.
There will be some questions heading his way. Have your say on that. 82230000. How do you feel about what he said there? We have a $100 Kent Town Hotel voucher to give away for this evening's program. So get your thoughts in. 82230000. Got the 4:30 headlines and Tim Silvers from the Crows next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
David Penberthy and Will Goodies. 5AA Breakfast.
I tell you what, this is an indicator of how risky it is for the Mayor of Kangaroo Island, Michael Pengelly, to sound blasé or ambivalent about what's happening with those koalas. Because when we got in this morning, there were already texts, even before Will and I had said good morning Adelaide.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show. He never speaks like a politician.
And on this,
he needed to speak like a politician a little bit more. Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. A large bushfire burning in scrub near Narracourt is being fought by ground and air. The federal opposition says more support is needed for struggling households, with new figures showing economic growth is slowing. Donald Trump is on track for the US Republican nomination after a strong showing on Super Tuesday. And in sport, the 2024 AFL season has officially been launched in Sydney ahead of tomorrow night's opening round clash between the Swans and Melbourne at the SCG. Now checking 5AA traffic.
No better time or place to jump in at Jayco than at Jayco Adelaide's brand new West Beach dealership.
At Linden Park, police incident there, Port Rush Road near Hay Road. Avoid that if you can. Lonsala crash, Lonsala Road near Sheriff's Road, and a crash at Onkaparinga Heights too, Churchill Road near River Road. Got a tree down at Ingle Farm at the moment. That's on Duckus Drive near Bridge Road, with a camera to look out for Hallard Road at Stonyfield. Right now at 40 Winks, get any size Sealy Posturepedic mattress for the price of a single, plus double Qantas points on your purchase. Hurry, sale ends Sunday. Exclusions and T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly clear tonight, down to 17, then sunny and 33 tomorrow. Right now it is 33. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
The Kluger 7-seat SUV is here to move your family and to move you at Jarvis Toyota's brand new home in Brighton Road, Somerton Park. It's an SUV that knows you expect practicality but want luxury and beautiful design too. There's no need to wait for the kids to grow up. You can have your dream car now. Take a test drive of the Kluger SUV today at Jarvis Toyota, now at Brighton Road, Somerton Park, proudly celebrating 22 years of great deals.
The sun takes its toll on everything, but cover things up and they last longer. Well, the same goes for you. 2 in 3 Aussies will be diagnosed with skin cancer, which kills twice as many men as women. So check the UV every day, then slip on a shirt, slop on some sunscreen, slap on a hat, seek some shade, and slide on your sunnies. Download the SunSmart app today and stay SunSmart. A message from Cancer Council SA and the Government of South Australia.
More than 17,000 Australians, both young and old, will die from stroke or heart attack caused by hypertension or high blood pressure this coming year. Many could be prevented through early detection. But right now, an Adelaide research team is seeking volunteers for a study to trial a potential treatment. If you've been diagnosed with moderate hypertension and you're between 18 and 72, you could be eligible. Go to fusiontrials.com.au/hypertension or call 08 7077 6996. You will be compensated for your time.
Is it just me? Or does ham made from pork raised right here on Australian farms taste so much fresher? Nah, it can't be just me. So if you want true Australian ham, just pick a pack with a pink pork logo.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. If you're a business thinking about advertising on radio, I think the first step is to actually contact one of the crew at 5AA and just have a look at what the demographic is, how it would work for your business, what sort of ads might work for you, and then you can make an informed choice as to whether this is the path for you to take or not. In our particular space, there is more and more solar companies on radio, and I think it's important that you stay in the mix. So for us, it's part of our strategy. It's not our entire strategy. It's one of 5 different sources, but you know, if you don't have them all in there, then you're just not part of it.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 5. Where Are They Now is coming up at 5 o'clock tonight, and Riley Thilthorpe is set to miss 12 to 14 weeks after his knee op. Who's got that little dark cloud over them like Rowey has at the minute? 8223 0000, have you say?
Go and play it again. Tim Silvers is on the line. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yeah. Gee, did I laugh when you played that?
Pick your lip up. Pick
This
your
is
lip
on the
up.
back of Rolly Thilthorpe.
I know.
Anyway, Adelaide Crows held their AGM last night, posted, well, a solid profit, had a lift in revenue. Most importantly, they're debt-free. Joining us, Crows CEO Tim Silvers. Tim, a reasonable set of numbers. Welcome.
G'day, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, reasonable set of numbers. We posted a stat profit of just over $1 million and a cash profit of $3 million. We're really happy with that. As you're probably all aware, we were in debt to about $6 million in 2021. So to be able to repay the debt and actually start to invest in the footy club now has been a really good result. And we've also been able to invest some cash into our new facility, a couple of million, just in preparations for that. So we're building a really solid business model as we prepare for what is potentially the biggest project the club's ever undertaken.
Yeah. What cash do you have on hand?
Look, like I said, we've spent just over $4 million on the project itself, and as at year end, we had about three years cash on top of that.
Can you afford this FIVEAA redevelopment? Like we're hearing projections out to $110 million now.
That seems like a high number. That certainly does. But we're going to have to use some debt funding for this. And these projects, if you want it to be the best, these projects just keep going up. And it's custom built for our men's and women's. If we want to be a destination club, we've got to spend that money around that 100 million. Sorry, wish it was 100,000. Around that 100 million. And yeah, we're trying to source some debt funding at the moment, up to a maximum of 20. But we've been able to repay a lot of debt in a short period of time, and we've got a number of different grants that we've been able to repay over periods. So we think we can service a debt of 20 million, but that's our max point.
Hey, Tim, you released your 5-year strategy. It's earmarked Earn the Pride. Can you give us a little summary of that?
Earn the Pride? I thought you were following it, Timmy. You're not all over it? I can give you... I thought it'd be better coming from you. Look, in terms of, like, I suppose it's our projections and how we were going to earn the pride back of South Australia and also the competition. We've been down for a period of time. This is our way after COVID, how we're going to rebuild, restore and sort of reset and then come again at the competition. So in terms of last year, we tracked all our markers in terms of membership, commercial, etc. We achieved top 4, which was our aim in AFLW, and probably a little bit unlucky to not at least get to the grand final, losing 2 finals by 2 points and 1 point. That was disappointing, but sustained success in the women's, and we've improved in the men's. We've gone public that we want to achieve a flag in the 5-year period in our men's program, and we want to be like the women's. We want sustained success, be in the top 4, and have an opportunity for premiership. So we spoke about it last night, and we've spoken about it all through the pre-season. Finals are on the agenda for this footy club.
Beautiful. You're in Sydney, CEO and Chairman's meeting. Any takeaways from today that you could share?
Well, Dills was in charge. Andrew Dillon was in charge for the first time as the official CEO, not CEO-elect. He doesn't talk for as long as Gill does, so that was probably a good start. No, look, high level, the discussions on Tasmania and how that's tracking. They talked about opening round and what it does for the northern markets, having some 4 marquee games in the northern markets, and how well sales are going, and what a great opportunity it's been for the northern markets, where we're hearing that round 1 is projected to be the biggest ever attended round in the history of the AFL. So that sounds really positive. And Andrew Dillon's focus is he's come through grassroots footy. He's a community footballer himself, and he coaches women's football as well. And his strategy about investing in community football and grassroots, and an investment of over $1 billion over the next TV rights, which is just enormous. And that's to get into local footy clubs, into grounds, into women's footy, the whole bit. So it was really positive, and we've got the season launch tonight, which I'm looking forward to.
Do you get a better feel for this new AFL executive that they're not going to be as Victorian-centric?
Well, what I've found in the last couple of months is that they've been out to South Australia a couple of times, which is a good start. We had all the football executives in at West Lakes on Friday for 3.5 hours to talk about the competitive balance and pick purchasing from Northern Academies, etc., etc. So the way they've started is that I feel like it's going to be much more collaborative. I understand some of the challenges South Australia around second tier and Stamford and National Reserve. So it's been a real positive step, and they're listening. Now we've got to see if they're going to act on it.
Yeah. I don't think there'll ever be any true competitive balance, but as close as we can get to it would be great. A National Reserves comp, was that on the agenda today? And is it going to hit as soon as 2025? And how will that impact you?
It wasn't on the agenda today. It was certainly something that we've discussed with the AFL over the last period of time. It's certainly an opportunity for it to come up in the not-too-distant future. I'm not sure if it's 2025, but you talk about competitive balance. We've got 14 clubs that are under a certain amount of rules through this VFL, East Coast VFL system, and their top-up players, they get the opportunity to have a variety of different better probably top-up players than we do. So there's some inconsistencies in that, and if we want to be all on an equal playing field, I think that National Reserves makes sense. When that comes in, I'm not sure.
Okay. What do you pay the SANFL each year for the right to play in the SANFL, Tim?
I think should be probably commercial in confidence, but it is a large number. It's a lot more than Ports, I know that much.
Is it $500,000?
Oh, that's what you said, Rowey. Yeah, I could run with that if you like.
Okay. So if you're in there till 2027 is what the contract is. If you wanted to get out, you'd have to pay the SANFL times that figure over the years that is left. Is that correct?
Oh, I'm not quite sure if the AFL forced the issue and all 18 clubs were to go into the AFL National Reserves, we could have a different slant on it. But we'll wait for having that conversation if and when it happens.
Hey, Tim, there was a rumour going around that Matthew Nick's extension might be announced last night. Is that being saved for a little bit later on, or round one? Or
Yeah, well, we got to the AGM, and usually we love big numbers at the AGM, but there's usually about 100 people there, and there are TV cameras everywhere, so I thought, what's happened? But yeah, we got the rumour a bit late, so we weren't quite aware. So yeah, we got stitched up. But no, we're in positive discussions with Nicky and his management. We're really aligned. We chat all the time. He's done a great job as rebuilding the club, and you know, we're, like I said before, we're aiming for finals over the next few years. So I think he's a coach that can do that.
I woke up this morning with the news of Riley Thilthorpe out for 12 to 14. I was flat as a shit carter's hat, Tim. It's not ideal, is it?
No, it's not ideal. I listened to the music you just had on before I started. That's not ideal. I didn't know 5AA did that sort of music. But,
oh, well, no, they've stitched me up. I've said, I mean, if he'd doubled his numbers from last year, that he was on the...
Tim, I've never seen him so
I was just flat,
down.
Tim.
He had his bottom lip on the ground. I thought, we've got to pick him up somehow. Honestly, I thought they'd ban, fishing for whiting. He was that bad, mate.
Well, look, we shouldn't make light of it. It is very, very disappointing for Riley. I've seen him up close over the last couple of months. He's put everything into this pre-season. He's been in terrific form, match stimulation all the way through the practice matches. He's put on some weight and, yeah, still fit as a fiddle. So his confidence is up. So I feel really disappointed for him. But he's 21 years old. He's a resilient kid. If anyone's going to throw themselves into the rehab, it's going to be him. And he'll do everything in his power to get back even earlier than the 12 to 14 weeks that we're quoting. Yeah. But we've got to look after him. He's an important asset for our footy club for a decade. So what people say is you lose a soldier, you replace it with another. So we'll have to do that. We've got a game plan that our players have a really good understanding of, and we'll pick someone else to come in and play our style, and hopefully we can get over Gold Coast in round one. Yeah,
I've got to get better because I'm a live for the now type of fella. All right, well then here we go, Tim. You got your selector's hat on. You sat in the war room with Nixie and us when we got invited. Himmelberg, Gallant, Strawn or Burgess, pick one to replace him.
I'm the CEO. I'll leave that to the coaches, but I don't want to put any pressure on Nicky. But all four are good replacements. One thing I could say around the trade for Chris Burgess and him coming in might prove pretty handy, just in terms of key position depth. We weren't sure where he would play, but at the minute he does look like he's might get an opportunity. But Lockie Gallant's also had a number of great years in the sample.
So you're over there with all the presidents, the CEOs, the executive, the AFL of all the clubs. Give us one takeout from it, I don't know, can you name Tasmania's name or jumper, or give us a little scoop-de-doo, Tim?
Give us a scoop from today.
Give us something from today, just something. Anything.
Well, what could I say? Tassie is going to happen. Tassie is going to happen. They're going to announce. They're going to announce all the names and
Mascot.
The branding. I think next Monday.
Right, there's a scoop. Next Monday.
So that's next Monday, and we're onwards and upwards. We made a decision in conjunction with a number of different stakeholders to progress to the 19th team. I know they're going through an election at the moment, but look, I'm really confident that they'll commit to building the stadium. And Tassie is a heartland footy state. Let's not compromise it. Let's support it and build the stadium and get this team up and going.
Tim, thanks for your time. I know it's a busy day for you. Have a great year on and off the field. I promise I'll pick my bottom lip up. Timmy's going to make me pick it up.
That's
and we'll speak soon.
Thanks, Tim.
No, let's be positive. I feel like good times are coming for the Crows. So thanks for your support during the year.
Well done. Yeah, and well said, because there is. And it is.
Absolutely.
One soldier down, one soldier
Still
up.
got a very dangerous forward line.
I'm just, 100%. I'm just disappointed, I think, for Riley.
Like
I'm
I said to you
disappointed
earlier,
for the blue skies ahead for what he would have meant to that team.
Just more so.
That's it.
You've been robbed of what was his development was going to be.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to be patient now. And so has Riley himself. He's got to get in that gym and get it right and come back out and bounce it straight into it.
Now, don't push that button again. Do not play Hello Darkness.
What, this one?
Do not.
No, you know what we need? We need to get him back up. So how do you get him back up?
Hang on, Rowey. I know just the thing.
Tim Silvers, our guest.
Excellent work. Hey, just before we go to check your traffic, Mark Robinson has dropped some news around the AFL's new concussion protocols. And I'll tell you what, for those listening in cars who have any involvement in the local footy club, there could be a radical shift for community footy in amongst this that trickles down to the grassroots. So just stay tuned for a couple of minutes. We'll release that next after the traffic.
At Linden Park, police incident, Port Rice Road near Hay Road. Avoid that on the drive home. Crash at Lonsdale Road near Sheriff's Road. Another collision at Kilburn, Prospect Road near Grand Junction Road. Twisted traffic light there too. Busy for works at O'Halloran Hill, Main South Road near Lander Road with the Camera Gauge Street at Firle. Luxury Mercedes and Maldives bonus prizes. You can win a car and holiday if you get your Hospital Research Foundation home lottery tickets by Friday. homelottery.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
It's Edward here from Edwardstown Mazda. I can't tell the time yet, but I know it's running out to save on a 2023 Playton Mazda. If you come in now, you'll get the best deal ever on all 2023 Mazdas. I pinky promise. And remember, Edwardstown Mazda is the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. Numo umero, baby. Now play that jingle thing.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda. In tough times, it's the simple things that make a big difference. Like $19 schnitzel days at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. We know the humble schnitty can't fix all our problems, but we do know it'll put a smile on your dial. $19 schnitty, Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. Making the world a better place, one schnitty at a time. Got to start somewhere. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Tell you what, I love charities, but this one's right up there. I'm telling you, the Royal Flying Doctor Service, it cannot do its life-saving work without your help. It relies on your donations to transform a plane into a flying intensive care unit that flies at least 15 South Australians every day. How good's that?
Look, they're just the best. And now your donation can have an even bigger impact. How's this? March 7 is officially double up for the Doc Day. It means every donation made on their online donation page will be matched by our dollar matching partners. That is brilliant.
Now we've got to get on board because this is March 7th, okay? So today is March 6th. So, of course, you can donate anytime, but if you do it before March 7th, your donation will be matched thanks to some very generous partners.
So it's double up for Doc Day. They'll be matched. It's $300,000 to fit out a new aircraft with medical equipment, which you will help do from March 7th. It's totally doable.
Come on, get on board.
And that will genuinely save lives.
Absolutely. 15 South Australians every day. Put it in your diary. Double up for Doc Day. Do it now, March 7th. For more information, visit flyingdoctor.com.au. That is flyingdoctor.com.au.
Hearing Australia's Hearing the Nation tour is coming to Adelaide, delivering free hearing checks for adults. Search Hearing the Nation for more.
Hearing Australia.
Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
If you thought a good house inspector was hard to find, well, take a look at House Inspect Australia. Mike Pearl and his team are Australia's most qualified house inspectors.
Mike's very passionate about helping find cures to rare diseases by supporting the Rare Find Foundation. So he has dedicated the rest of this ad to them.
The Rare Find Foundation helps improve the lives of people affected by rare diseases and supports their families and carers too.
Learn more about the organisation or make a donation at rarefindfoundation.org.
Large soy caramel mocha frappuccino with extra caramel.
Cut through the blah to hear more of what you want with Specsaver's advanced hearing technology.
Book an appointment with our audiology professionals for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices. Always follow the directions for use.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 5. Where are they now? Coming up at 5 o'clock. Heath Shaw's going to join us as well. Supercoach is back in 2024. We just spoke before the break, guys, about how there might be a new move for community football in the back of all the talk around concussion. Well, the AFL has met today. All community footballers will be required to stand down for a minimum 21 days. That's a landmark decision for the AFL.
Wow.
So 21 days for community footballers to step down with concussion. The league will retain its 12-day minimum stand down, but they will have a raft of improved monitoring. But here's the big part. That's not the shocking bit. This is the big part of the story. Community footballers might be required to wear helmets in the future. The AFL is trialling new headgear and they're possibly looking at bringing it in as soon as this year. If it's eventually adopted, all junior and senior players in metropolitan and country football leagues
around the country
could be required to wear the AFL-endorsed headgear.
We'll get shares in a company that sells
helmets.
them. That's number one. Number two, do they speak to Brayshaw? Because it didn't do him any good.
Well, that's the only thing
and number
I'll
three,
say.
I thought they were only good for lacerations.
Well, in all seriousness, we know that Angus Brayshaw had to give it away. He wore a helmet. So it didn't actually help that last concussion from happening.
No.
So I'm just wondering where they're going with it, or is it just another step to say, look what we did?
That's exactly what it is.
Look what we're doing.
It's called litigation.
Again, I'm not sure that... Well, the NFL, a great example. Those helmets are huge. They're like a freaking motorbike helmet. They had massive CTE and a payout of billions to people with concussion. So I just don't think that a helmet is the answer.
So I play for the Henley Sharks, or I play for the
Smosh West Lakes.
Smosh West Lakes, or Sacred Heart Old Collegians.
Yes.
From the A's all the way down to the juniors, I have to wear a helmet.
And that's girls, that's women's, that's juniors, men, seniors, you name it.
That's a massive, massive burden on people's pockets too.
We're trying to get players to pay subs. Now they've got to buy a helmet.
What's interesting too is why
would a helmet be
the elite
worth?
level wouldn't be doing it as well.
Would it be a couple of hunch?
You'd have
be
to
as much as footy boots,
You'd
wouldn't
have
it?
to say it would be as much as footy boots.
Does anybody know a company that sells them? Or if you can quickly Google and get on with this, 822 300
What about...
What's a helmet worth?
Let's get on to Caleb Daniel. He'll know.
Yeah, $15 I'm looking at for a madisonsport.com.
No, but what's a $15 bloody helmet going to do?
Yeah, please.
We go on Rebel Sport, it's about $70 for a
Let's
Steeden one.
Let's get Steve Curtis on.
Yeah,
he
used to
wore
wear a
bloody
bike helmet. He did too.
did him a fat load of good.
He was. We'll get him on.
Stevie Curtis.
He is a ripper, Steve Curtis. We'll get him on. Where are they now? That's a good get. I like that. I saw him the other week.
He can represent the helmets.
He is.
See, a Sparky or a plumber?
Plumber.
Yeah, I see him all the time.
Oh, gee. He's
See, another bloke I never got a kick on.
He was hard, wasn't he?
How come where are they now? You get back pocketers that I've never got a kick on.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Go get Scotty Salisbury.
About you.
Have you say
Go
on
get
that,
Scott
though.
Lee.
8223 though. We've got that $100 Kent Town Hotel voucher. Helmets at community level. How do you feel about that? Give us a call.
I got a unique homestyle food text. Did you read the AFL is going to allow Razor Ray, that's Ray Chamberlain, the umpire, to throw the ball up at centre bounces due to his back issues? I want them all to throw it up. So if this is the beginning of it, I'll be very, very happy. But we saw the opening of the 2023 grand final first bounce.
It was embarrassing.
Go sideways out of the circle and had to restart.
So imagine watching it from England, I don't know.
Correct.
Romania.
Overseas, Japan.
America, Hang on, they've just restarted it again.
Yeah. We've got to stop it.
Here, we've got a helmet head on from Hillbank. Hello, Michael.
How you going, guys?
Hey, mate.
Fill us in.
I was just checking what authority the AFL have over South Australian country teams.
Well, the governing body of the game in AFL is the AFL. The governing body here is the SANFL, and the SANFL would say to the AFL, who's your daddy? So if the AFL said to the SANFL and the Waffle, hey, all your affiliate clubs have to wear a helmet, Michael, they'll be wearing a helmet.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to find out what authority the AFL has.
I know what you're saying.
They're the daddy. They're the who's your daddy, Michael.
I know where you're going, Michael, and that if we're to get any grassroots money, And it is a battle for SA and WA. Don't worry. They're pouring it into New South Wales and Queensland. But one of the issues I think would be is it'd have to be a phased program. You couldn't say, rightio, as of March 1st, we want everybody in a helmet. I don't think...
Oh, how do they phase it?
People, families, clubs, you name it, could
I doubt it'll
just
come in this year.
quickly go bang and everybody's got a helmet.
Talking about the AFL and how much power they have in the waffle and the sample now, if I went back 10 years, it was limited. If I went back 15 years, probably none. If I went back 2 years, it's, if you don't do this, we're not going to give you funding. Well, the sample amendments to their rules for season 2024. Season starts Easter, 4 games on Good Friday.
Yep.
The sample are bringing in early guilty plea structure, just like the AFL. They're bringing in severe impact gradings, just like the AFL. The smother rule, in line with the AFL's recent adjustments. The rundown tackle rule, in line with recent AFL adjustments. The striking fend off, in line with recent AFL adjustments. And the last one, ruck contest, in line with recent AFL adjustments. That's the first time they've adopted every rule change that the AFL's had.
I wish it was the reverse.
Do I smell something?
But yeah, I know what you're saying. But I wish it was the reverse. I wish the AFL would go, we're adopting the last disposal out of bounds. We're adopting the clock counting up instead of down. Yeah. I would love to see the 25-metre penalty.
Is our independence being eroded year by year, day on day? Is it linked to money? If you don't do this, you're not getting this funding.
Yeah, the only thing I will say, Rowey, is also when you've got guys that are aspiring to play the next level and the like, if you are playing the same rules, it does help when you do go up.
Yeah, but do we exist now as a sample to prop up the AFL talent pool? Do we exist as a sample?
No, but I think you've got to understand where you are as far as the pecking order of football goes, and if you can stay in line as much as possible so that everybody plays the same game, then it makes sense.
Well, are we following the right structure? Is the AFL Commission, which is the governing body, the best structure to follow? I loved our independence, to be honest.
Retro's the future.
Have you say, 8223 0000. 1 minute to 5 news time. Premiership winning Double Blue is coming up for Where Are They Now next?
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Support your health and well-being with Blackmore's Stress and Sleep range. Try Blackmore's Executive B, specifically formulated to support a healthy stress response in the body. Or try the new Blackmore's Deep Sleep product, formulated with valerian, ziziphus, hops and magnesium to support deep and restful sleep. Sleep well, stress less and feel alive. Good health changes everything. Look for Blackmore's Stress and Sleep range in a chemist near you. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
The cost of living keeps rising. Thankfully, so does the sun. That's why more Aussies are getting smart with Solar Heart. Go solar today and get up to $1,000 off a Solar Heart solar power system and battery package. That's right, get up to $1,000 off when you purchase a 5 kilowatt and above Solar Heart solar power system and an eligible Goodwee battery. Lower your energy bills with every sunrise. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly clear tonight, 17, sunny tomorrow, 33. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
The exceptional sale is on at Berkowitz. Save 25 to 50% off all Berkowitz furniture. Ends soon.
Snowtown accomplice Mark Hayden made a court appearance via video link today ahead of his looming release. But we won't know what the now 65-year-old looks like when he walks free. His lawyer successfully opposed a bid to have an artist sketch him during proceedings, arguing it could harm his rehabilitation in the community. The state government's attempting to have Hayden declared a high-risk offender so he can be subject to supervision. Premier Peter Malinauskas weighing in on the sketch ruling.
I hope, for whatever reason, the judge formulated their opinion. It's a well-informed one. The courts will make decisions about what drawings can and can't be done within them. I mean, I'm in favour of transparency.
Experts believe a weakening of the Australian economy is another sign the Reserve Bank could begin cutting interest rates later this year. New figures show the nation's GDP has slowed to 1.5% for 2023. Households are cutting back on spending and storing more money in the bank. But CommSec Chief Economist Craig James says there's a silver lining to the financial pain.
The economy is growing, it's just growing at a much slower pace. And that's good news because what it means is demand and supply is being brought into balance, putting downward pressure on inflation and therefore opening the door to interest rate cuts later in the year.
There's a bushfire burning near Narracourt in the state's southeast. Multiple fire trucks and 3 water bombers are at the scene. Smoke is impacting roads in the area. A massive offshore wind project has been slashed by as much as 80% by the federal government. The original proposal was set to span more than 100 kilometres of the SA and Victoria coast, stretching from Port Macdonnell to Warrnambool, but now won't include SA. Nathan Kimber from the SA Rock Lobster Advisory Council says it's a relief.
Where they were proposing to put the offshore wind zone was right smack bang in the heart of the most important area for our fishery. It would have been a disaster if they hadn't been drilling these turbines into the very habitat that our rock lobster rely on to live, essentially.
Donald Trump has had sweeping wins in the Super Tuesday primaries, putting him a step closer to securing the Republican presidential nomination. The results all but set up a rematch with him and Joe Biden. Speaking to supporters at Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Trump says he'll make big changes if he wins in November.
So we're going to take back our country. We're going to make sure we are going to do it right. We're going to have the greatest economy ever in the history of our country. We're going to top what we did.
Former Crow Tom Doedee has taken a swipe at SA. As he prepares to make his debut for the Lions, he's had a dig at some of the uniquely South Australian food and drink we love. He's told 10 now that he's living in Queensland, he doesn't have to deal with things like fruit chocks and pie floaters.
I sort of never really got completely into that South Australian culture. So even fruit chocks, things like that I didn't quite enjoy, which South Australians probably won't like to hear me saying that, but there's something about South Australians that they just love their South Australian things, and if you're Victorian coming from afar, Farmers Union, all that sort of stuff, I just didn't quite buy into it.
Now turning to 5AA sport, Crow Riley Thilthorpe will be sidelined for longer than first thought. The timeline blowout follows today's successful knee surgery. He'll be out of action for around 3 months. Well, the 2024 AFL season was officially launched in Sydney this afternoon ahead of tomorrow night's opening round clash between the Swans and Melbourne at the SCG. League boss Andrew Dillon hasn't ruled out kicking off the season in the Northern States again in the future.
We'll assess that, and as we look to do the schedule for next year, there's lots of complexities in that, but all signs are pointing towards us continuing to bring big blockbuster games up into New South Wales and Queensland, and we want to continue to do that.
Melbourne captain Max Gawn is adamant Clayton Oliver hasn't been rushed into the side too soon after his tumultuous off-season as they prepare to face Sydney. And Gawn believes Swans recruit Brodie Grundy doesn't need to prove himself when the former teammates go head-to-head at the SCG.
Anyone who's been sort of gone out of 2 teams now and found a new place, I feel like what a chance to play round 1, first game of the year against your old team. But he doesn't need to prove anything to me, and I dare say he doesn't need to prove anything to his teammates or the AFL community. I'm presuming there'll be advantages for both of us. That might be a stalemate in the end because we know each other's strengths and weaknesses quite well.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
No better time or place to jump into Jayco than at Jayco Adelaide's brand new West Beach dealership.
G'day there. Police incident to look out from the drive home at Linden Park, Portrush Road near Hay Road. At Lonsdale, crash there, Lonsdale Road near Sheriff's Road. Another collision at Kilburn, Prospect Road near Green Junction Road. Also got a twisted traffic light there as well. Slow for works at O'Halloran Hill, Main South Road near Land Road with a camera gauge street at Firle. More happy mouths for less at Big W. This will make you smile. Get half price across the selected Oral-B dental care range. That's more for less at Big W. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, 17, sunny tomorrow, 33. Friday is sunny and 37, and then Saturday mostly sunny with a top of 40. Right now it's 33. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Bragless. Tonight, a bizarre rampage, then gunpoint arrest in the city.
The police come so fast. Oh, I'm so scared.
On 9 News, see it happen. Plus the simple tips to lower the cost of running your car. And meet the Adelaide train driver.
Good morning, you beautiful, magnificent people.
Putting smiles on travellers' faces. 9 News. Your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Oh, you got to be kidding me. We're going to miss the game if we don't get this TV working.
At Sip and Save, you won't be getting mixed signals from us. Enter at sipandsave.com.au today and you and a mate could be winning a VIP game day experience. Just snap up any Great Northern Super Crisp 30-pack for $59.99 for your chance to win. There's also Johnny Walker Red Label Scotch or Smirnoff Red Vodka 700ml bottles for just $43.99 each. You can expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service. Terms and conditions apply. Prices may vary in country areas.
Sip and Save. There's more in store.
It's the SUV brand that, well, few people knew about, everyone's now talking about, and we can't stop talking about. Of course, we're talking about the Ineos Grenadier. Didn't even know how to say it.
That was brilliant.
God, it's a good car.
Yeah.
Better than that. It's a premium and old-school off-roader with slick, and I mean slick, modern tech.
It's got everything. And if you haven't gone to the website and built your own, well, get to Adelaide Hills Motor Group. They're on Glen Osmond Road, and they've got display models in stock. There's nothing beats getting in there, taking the old test drive and going, how good's this overhead button bang?
Don't steal my lines. Adelaide Hills Motor Group. Hey, it's just up Glen Osmond Road. The Grenadier, it's built like a brick. It's covered in mounting points. And as you said, it's got the over button bang. Get on. No, Google it. Well, it is.
Yes.
No, we
One of
did
the
it.
best.
It is actually better
You
than
couldn't
that.
stop pushing things.
Well, I did. I was pushing a few things. Get to the Adelaide Hills Motor Group. That's what you got to do.
Absolutely. They're the top of the range Ineos Grenadiers, but also you'll find SUVs, 4x4, 7-seaters and much, much more. Do yourself a favour. Test drive the Ineos Grenadier. It's at Adelaide Hills Motor Group, Glen Osmond Road, Fullerton.
I'm Brett Buckley from Ray White Business Sales. We buy and sell businesses for people. When we looked at the different marketing channels that were available to us, we chose radio because it is more personal. From there, we looked at the different stations that were available and our target market. 5AA was the perfect fit for us. More importantly, the way 5AA engaged with us allowed us to create the advertisements that we wanted to reach our target market in the best way and present our business in the best way. And working with 5AA, particularly our representative Emma, and the team at 5AA has been an enjoyable process.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
9 minutes after 5, still to come on the show, we have Heath Shaw coming up, we have Jade Rawlings coming up as well. And give us a call. The AFL is cracking down on concussion. They've just put out their statement and they are exploring community footballers, junior and senior, to perhaps wear helmets in the future. Have you say 8223 0000. Let's get to where are they now. Get a Walco blankie for your pool this summer and save water, evaporation and money. Go to walco.com.au.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Yes, what a player this bloke was. 298 games between 1973 and 1987. He ended up playing in 4 premierships, 2 with Sturt, 2 with Carlton. Unbelievable career. I speak none other than Robert Klump. Welcome.
Hi, Tim, Rowey, how are you?
Excellent, excellent, my friend. Now, mate, I was looking you up today and I went, hang on, he was born in the Netherlands. What age were you, mate, when you eventually came to Australia?
I think we actually emigrated or left Holland's shores when I was 8 months old.
Wow. Okay, so you got here and basically you became an Aussie instantly. I was going to say, well, who introduced you to football first up?
I was just with the lads at school. You know? I mean, when back in those days in the early 60s, you either kicked a football in the winter or you bowled and batted down the playground in the summer, and that was your introduction to Aussie sport.
And how did you get to Unley then? Was it because there was no zoning back then? Who was the connector?
There were zones, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I actually grew up. I was actually a competitive swimmer from the time I was 9.
Right.
So, and my family being Dutch weren't really into football.
Mm-hmm.
So, because of that, and the family, the Openshaw family, were all Port supporters. I ended up. I was a Port Adelaide and Collingwood barracker in my early days. But I lived in the Adelaide Hills, which was the Sturt zone.
Right. So when did they introduce zones? That must have been early 70s.
No. This was the zones existed for quite a while before then.
Okay.
Yeah. They were certainly in existence well before I started playing football.
Okay. How could you be a swimmer with those legs, Robert, with 2 Bs? So tell us about the early Sturt days, because, boy, they were a mighty club when you were out there.
Well, it's the club itself. I mean, I had a great respect for Sturt because I really started following football probably 65, and Port ended up being Sturt in that grand final, and then Sturt won 5 in a row. So being in the Sturt zone, I mean, you couldn't help but admire a side that was that successful. And when I was recruited from the Adelaide Hills to go there, I didn't have any dramas about it. I had no real attachment to Port, but other than when Wayne Broadbridge presented me with the medal the year before, he said, "We'd love to have you down here, but we understand, you're in the Sturt zone, and that's where you'll go." So I came into a side where, half the team had played in 5 premierships.
Yeah.
Oh, God. 74 and 76 as a premiership player. You went on to win premierships with Carlton as well. You're a big game player, I thought, Klompy. Your form, if you have a look at all those grand finals, was bloody good.
Well, appreciate that. Yeah, I love the challenge. Always enjoy the challenge, from the very early days. Wanted to test myself out and find out, whether I could compete with the best.
78?
78 was a great disappointment. Yeah, absolutely.
God. Sorry about that. Sorry, 1 point. Sorry. Where were you when that fateful mark was paid?
In the centre of the ground, probably about 30 metres away.
And you made a different decision?
Oh, well, you could see on the ground what happened.
Oh, God.
Was it clever?
But Des was on the wrong side. Well, he was on the blind side of the play, so he didn't see it.
Well, that umpire Blue only got surpassed last year by the Keys one.
He won't let it go, Klompy. He won't let it go. Hey, mate, for a player, 6 foot, you played in just about every position. I saw you, centre half back. I saw you centre half forward. You played key position on the ball, half back. It was just quite phenomenal. Wherever you went, you filled a hole and played it well.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, well, look, I also played a lot of basketball when I was younger. Leading, even before I started playing football regularly, because as a competitive swimmer, the coach wouldn't let us play football, so I didn't actually start playing regular football till the under-16s for Heath Shaw Allgate United.
Right.
And then a year and a half later, I found myself playing league football for Sturt. So I think the swimming gave me the physical strength, and also playing the basketball, with hand-eye coordination, and gave me some jumping ability as well, and enabled me to play centre-half forward as well as the on-ball positions.
Can you tell me about 1974 grand final? It's conditions are difficult. It's been raining, it's windy, and quite a howling breeze. You guys kick with it in the third term, but don't get that good a score on the board. You go into the last quarter, into the breeze against the Bays, and just run it up by hand. Can you tell us about what the decision was made at three-quarter time and what Jack Odie said?
Well, Jack always kept things pretty simple, and he just said, keep possession. So it's difficult conditions, keep possession and move it. And we had particularly, Mick Noonan was outstanding. He was a great possession getter, and then Robbie Barton came onto the ground and absolutely played a blinder in that last quarter, and I don't know how many possessions he had, but those two gave us a lot of drive going forward. I think the Bays, and I've spoken to a few of the Bays guys, they worked that hard in the third quarter to keep us quiet that they were spent.
Yeah.
So with the running game was absolutely perfect in the circumstances. We didn't know what their physical state or mental state was, but it worked for us. So, it was a fantastic day.
Great victory. Probably one of Sturt's greatest was, of course, the massive upset of 1976. When I say the massive upset, that's coming from Port Adelaide's point of view, of course. But tell us about the great Jack Oatey's approach to that one.
Well, Port had been the form side of 76, and we'd had a good season, but we came into the finals with quite a few players recovering from injury, and then in the final against Norwood, we lost another couple of players, Noel Pettingill, Ken Whelan. So we lost quite a bit of our senior power, and then the turning point was actually the night before the grand final, where Jack sat us down in our positions, just sat us down in the chairs, went through the board with Port's possible, likely placements. Went through player by player, capabilities, experience, premierships, and I tell you what, we were all ready to run through a brick wall at that stage. There was in our minds there was no way known they could beat us.
Wow!
And that was the sort of the mental state we approached the game with.
How good!
It was an outstanding bit of coaching.
Yeah,
he was a real master.
Yeah. Let's fast forward to 79. You moved to Carlton. Parks and David Parker, that is your coach. Mike Fitzpatrick, I know him, the chairman. Your captain, there was Kenny Hunter, Bruce Doyle, Wayne Johnson. Oh, God.
Wayne Harms.
What a team.
No, 79, Jezza was coaching.
Oh, was he?
Jezza. Yeah, Jezza was, I think, the last playing coach in the VFL.
Ah, okay. And then he moved on, and then Parks come in and won those two. But tell us about the move to Carlton.
Well, yeah, it was challenging. Especially when you get told by all the experts that you're too short, you're too slow, and you might have some skills, but they won't be any good without any pace. And then to get over there and go through what was a monumental pre-season compared to what we were used to at Sturt. I thought for the first 8 weeks that I was there that there was no hope and that I was steadily going backwards instead of forwards. But bit by bit, my body adjusted, and Jezza was great. I mean, he took me under his wing and basically shielded me from a fair bit of shit. Pardon that, but and just said, "Look, you do as I ask." And don't worry about anything else that's going on. And Testament, I ended up playing every game that year and being in a premiership side. And we only lost 3 games for the year, so it was one of the outstanding seasons that I've ever been involved in.
Wow!
And you seem to play mostly sort of half back. Is that right?
Half back, yeah, half back for Carlton.
Yeah.
I apparently had a couple of moments up forward because at the end of the career, I'd somehow kicked 17 goals, and I couldn't remember any of them. But
well, they were good.
You don't want to take away the glory from the Carlton forwards and the small on ballers.
There was plenty of those. Your victory was only by 5 points in 79. I always sort of thought that you guys had control of the game, but it was really a hard-fought contest, and it was probably because the inaccuracy at goal sort of kept Collingwood alive at times, and they came back in that last quarter pretty strong at years, but you're able to hold on, and what was a famous victory.
No, look, it was a real test. I mean, when you're sitting in the box seat, you've been clearly the most outstanding side all year. Put you under pressure, and we'd only played the one or two. I think they had the final 5, so the 2 finals games before we played the grand final. But it was a wet, windy day. The ground was saturated, and Collingwood were a pretty bloody good side. You go through their list; they are a very talented group of players. And it didn't help that I think, if I remember right, it was about the 21st minute of the second quarter. It was 5-4 to 7 points.
Wow. Unreal.
We kicked 7 behinds, and then in the last 10 minutes of the quarter, we kicked 5-0 to actually get in front at half time.
Wow. That's amazing.
But it was looking pretty grim up till then.
Yeah, that's an incredible one. Dave Parkin takes over, I think, in 81. What was he like as a coach? And did you ever get on the end of one of his famous sprays where the vein came out?
Oh, his veins always came out. He was a very passionate man, whether he was spraying you or just egging you on. Yeah. Parko was just he was a fantastic leader. He was and presented to the playing group really, really well. You know, and sometimes you weren't quite on your game, and he would give it to you, and he'd managed to get more out of you than you thought you had.
Yeah, great player. Hey, mate, state footy. What are your fond memories of that? And I do believe you, in 1979, you had to room with our own Graham Corns. What was that experience like?
He told us about that.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, 79 was an interesting one because, of course, we won the grand final the week before,
yeah,
and so the celebrations were
plenty
still going up until about 3 a.m. on the Wednesday when I had to make my way down to the airport at 7 o'clock to get a flight to join the South Aussie team to go to Perth.
Mm. Gee whiz.
So, it was probably, by the time I got to Perth, it was the first time I'd been in a reasonable state for a number of days, and it wasn't. And I shacked up with Cornsey for that one, and coincidentally, his partner roomed with my wife.
Oh, there you
go. Because they came over as well,
yeah.
So it was a great weekend.
Oh, great work. You played 7 games for the state, 305 all up when you include your AFL, your sample. It was a mighty career. You left Carlton for Footscray, then back at Sturt. What are you up to now, Rob, before we let you go? We always run out of time with these.
Yeah, look, I appreciate it, but retired a year and a half ago.
Well done.
Good.
So my wife and I are now grey nomads.
Yeah,
we're doing a fair bit of touring in the caravan, and Wallaroo's probably our most permanent base at the moment. The Wallaroo Holiday Park up there.
Oh, good.
And we've just come back from 4 months in WA.
Oh, beautiful.
So I have a daughter, a partner, and 4 grandchildren over there.
Beautiful.
So it was good to catch up with them.
Oh,
and we've had a lot of pleasure going around sightseeing, doing different things, and over Christmas, New Year, during the school holidays, doing a fair bit of childminding.
Well, there you go. Well done,
living
mate.
the dream.
It's fantastic. And I tell you what, you can reflect back on what was an incredible career both here in South Australia and Victoria, and a fine player you were, my friend. Thank you very much for being a part of Where Are They Now?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the interest.
Well done, mate. Really a fantastic career. I went back and watched some of his highlights. He was very strong, direct, straight through sort of footballer, clean, one grab player, very good overhead, and could play all those positions at 6 foot.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Great career.
A great career. Played great footy, and I'm just a little bit sad now that I found out he was a port man to begin with.
You
What a blow.
He's the first Robert I know with 2 Bs.
Yeah, well, they were obviously from a wealthy family. They could afford both Bs.
Oh, my goodness. That's not a dad joke. Preserve your summer of mucking about in the pool. Get a Walco Blankie. You'll save water evaporation and money too. Get your Paula Walco Blankie today and enjoy the savings. Do this. Visit walco.com.au.
Get us to the traffic.
Crash at Prospect to look out for today. Prospect Road near Baker Road. Smithfield Plains collision there. Curtis Road near Douglas Drive. Another crash at Lonsdale Road near Sherris Road. You find a twisted traffic light at Kilburn. Prospect Road near Grand Junction Road. Slow South Road at Edwardstown with the Canberra Blacks Road at Gillis Plains. Business owners, are you ready to get a sweeter deal on your business FBOS? Switch to SmartPay. Visit smartpay.com.au. T's and C's and minimum turnover apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Get great value hands down this Easter with the Coles app. Create an in-store shopping list to see your estimated total and savings before you shop, helping you to stay on budget. Download the Coles app today.
How awesome! Mawson Lakes Volkswagen has plenty of Tiguans and Amaroks in stock. Tiguan Allspace is a 7-seater with plenty of room and plenty of smarts featuring auto park, adaptive cruise control and lane assist. And the latest generation Amarok has a big 1-ton payload and 3.5-ton towing capacity. But inside, you'll get all the comforts of a luxury vehicle. There's plenty of stock that must go. Hurry in for a deal. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
The sun takes its toll on everything, but cover things up and they last longer. Well, the same goes for you. 2 in 3 Aussies will be diagnosed with skin cancer, which kills twice as many men as women. So check the UV every day, then slip on a shirt, slop on some sunscreen, slap on a hat, seek some shade, and slide on your sunnies. Download the SunSmart app today and stay SunSmart. A message from Cancer Council SA and the Government of South Australia.
With a push-button electric pop-up roof on your Austrac camper, you can save your winding strength for more important things like this massive mangrove jet. Oh, busted me off.
Austrac Campus. Specsavers Advanced Hearing Aid technology helps cut through the background noise, available in almost 300 stores, along with experienced audiology professionals like Catherine Launchberry.
Hi, Matthew. Yes, our hearing aids can also stream music, movies, even answer the phone. We've got latest tech hearing aids to suit your lifestyle, all at everyday low prices.
And how do we know which one's the right, Catherine?
Well, hearing aids come in various shapes and sizes, and the cost is determined by the level of technology used. Specsavers audiology professionals are always here to help, with 12 months aftercare at no extra cost and a 90-day no-fuss returns policy. Plus, those eligible for the Government Hearing Services program can access hearing aids with no out-of-pocket expense. We encourage customers to shop around and compare with our upfront prices.
Sounds great. Thanks, Catherine. Head in store or visit specsavers.com.au/hearing. Always follow directions for use. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services program.
The cost of living keeps rising. Thankfully, so does the sun. That's why more Aussies are getting smart with SolarHeart. Go solar today and get up to $1,000 off a SolarHeart solar power system and battery package. That's right, get up to $1,000 off when you purchase a 5 kilowatt and above SolarHeart solar power system and an eligible Goodwee battery. Lower your energy bills with every sunrise. Get smart. Get SolarHeart. Terms and conditions apply.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
29 minutes after 5, Heath Shaw's coming up, and we're talking about helmets in footy. They could soon be a requirement for all community footballers. You could have your say. 8223 0000. Every caller to air is in the running to win our Benzina sports scooter, all thanks to Steinborner Automotive. They're always worth the trip. Hyundai, Ford, Mitsubishi and Mazda across the group. Steinborner.com.au.
We've got Dave at Blakeview. G'day, Dave. What's your opinion on the compulsory helmets?
I'll just kick off with Tommy D-Day. Comment. All right. The first word I thought of started with the W and ended with R, but I'll say he's a dipstick. That clears that one up. But with the compulsory helmet, the AFL, they put money towards the voice, and that money would have been supporter-based money. Would I be right or wrong?
Oh, yeah. Don't mix the two.
No.
Don't mix the two? Well, I reckon if they want to bring helmets in, they fork out for the helmet.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I've got Colin's email here saying if helmets are mandatory for all community football players, will that extend to sample special squads, 16s, 18s? I would expect so. Also, Rowey and Timmy, if helmets are compulsory, the AFL's target of doubling their participants from 10 million in 5 years to 10 million in 5 years won't get anywhere near it. Participation rate will actually go down, in my opinion. And of course, they make everyone at the lower level wear the helmet, but the elite players who play the fastest, most dangerous level don't have to. Honestly, please. What a joke. Alex from Walkerville. Interesting.
Maybe
unique home style food text.
Maybe Oz kickers won't, or the Kangas won't, but I cannot see this getting up. Well, hundreds of people are on the text line, Unique Homeside Food text line. Wasn't Angus Brayshaw wearing a helmet? Did him stuff all? Well, we said that.
Yeah.
Research is it does stuff all.
Yeah, Josh from Stonyfell's opposite. He says we have to wear helmets to bat in cricket and to keep wickets, so why not footy?
Well, how's that helped Pukowski?
Yeah, well, I've got to say, the ball's a bit harder in cricket than it is in footy. But I just don't know.
Someone on the text here said something about it doesn't help good technique. Yeah, it gives you a false sense of security and encourage poor technique, says Michael. That's helmets in cricket.
I've seen about 5 bounces that have hit that young Will Pukowski.
He just dives into it rather than keep his eye on it.
He is.
I'll tell you what.
That is technique. I
remember talking to Barry Curtin. He said he was facing the West Indies here at Adelaide Oval, and he had a little red cap. And he said, you keep your eye on the footy.
Yeah.
You keep your eye on the cricket ball.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're going to get one right
that
that's gone.
Yeah. 28 minutes to 6. We've got the headlines, and then Heath Shaw to join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. A watch and act has been issued for a bushfire at Narracourt. The advice is leave now. The bushfire is uncontrolled and may threaten your safety. Police are at the scene of a serious 2-car crash at Delamere. Donald Trump is now in the box seat to win the Republican nomination for the US election. And in sport, the AFL will pay tribute to alleged murder victims, former goal umpire Jesse Baird and his partner Luke Davies, before tomorrow night's season opener. Now checking 5AA traffic.
No better time or place to jump into Jayco than at Jayco Adelaide's brand new West Beach dealership.
Crash in the city to look out for. Pulteney Street near Halifax Street at Prospect. Another collision. Prospect Road near Baker Road. And Smithfield Plains, a crash. Curtis Road near Douglas Drive. Twisted traffic light at Kilburn. Prospect Road near Grand Junction Road. And slow for works at McGill. Penfold Road near Adelaide Street, speeds at 40. Cameras Bry Road, Felixstowe and Gage Street at Firle. If you own a Kia, then book your next service at the new state-of-the-art Wayne Phillips Kia Service Centre on Heath Street, Lonsdale. Search Wayne Phillips Kia for details today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly clear tonight, down to 17, sunny tomorrow 33. Right now it's 32 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
A national survey has found Australians want the federal government to spend much more on nature conservation. I always like surveys that ask people, would you like something more spent on something? In the absence of what would you like less spent on? Everyone wants more spent on. Yeah, we should. The environment, defence, police,
focus groups. Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
We should all spend more. All right, which one do you want to take from?
Yeah, get the answer you want too.
Exactly.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth the trip, and now there's Barossa Mazda, Murray Street, Nuriupa. SA's newest Mazda dealership is now open. For 40 years, Steinborner has provided South Australians with outstanding customer service, exceptional value, and a large selection of new, used, and demo vehicles. The Steinborner story continues with the opening of their new state-of-the-art Mazda dealership in Barossa Valley. Barossa Mazda. It's well worth the trip. barossamazda.com.au.
$50,000 sitting in the bank doing nothing much? Interested in a direct mortgage investment? You could be earning 10% per annum paid to you monthly. That's right, 10%. Angus Securities has provided mortgage investment opportunities in South Australia for almost 25 years. Call 1800 010 800 to discuss this investment offer or visit the Flinders Street office. Investments are not bank deposits and there is a risk you could lose some or all of your money. You may receive lower than expected returns. Read the PDS carefully to decide if the product is right for you. AFSL 232479. Visit Angus Securities to access further information, including the offer brochure and TMD. 10% per annum, fixed interest paid monthly. You're better off with Angus.
Tina. The Tina Turner musical is rolling into Adelaide in April and final performances have just been announced. This heart-pumping production celebrates the inspiring life story of the Queen of Rock and Roll. Featuring more than 20 of her iconic songs, Tina is guaranteed to raise the roof at the Festival Theatre. Opens April 24. Book now at Ticketek. It's simply the best.
We're the boys
Lee Kernaghan's new tour, Boys from the Bush the Concert, is heading to Adelaide for one night only at the Hindley Street Music Hall on Friday 19th April. Lee will perform all the hits and all your favourites in a spectacular new production that features his hot new band. Don't miss Australia's own country music legend, Lee Kernaghan, and his special guests at the Hindley Street Music Hall on Friday 19th April. Book now on ticketmaster.com.au.
Hearing Australia's Hearing the Nation tour is coming to Adelaide, delivering free hearing checks for adults. Search Hearing the Nation for more.
Hearing Australia.
Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 6. Norwood coach Jade Rawlings coming up shortly, and still time for your calls, 8223 0000. Every caller to air goes in the running to win that Benzina sports scooter.
We always love chatting to our next guest, 325 game star. He was certainly that. Collingwood Premiership player, played at the Giants, terrific career, two-time All-Australian, go on and on. But he's a super coach ambassador. I speak of Heath Shaw. Shawry, welcome, mate.
G'day, boys. Thanks for having me on.
You any good at this?
You know, the good thing about Supercoach is you always go into every season with a little bit of hope that you're actually going to be good at it at some point. So, been okay, not great, but I'm going into this year full of confidence, as I do every year.
Oh, good. Give us a couple of tips.
Oh, mate, to be honest, I was actually at the Supercoach launch last night, and I went in there with my team, and obviously the few of the experts there, these guys put hours and hours and hours into their teams. And I walked out of there, and I literally got home and changed my team because they just kept on saying, put this guy in, and all this. So for me, I just think I'm a little bit biased, probably because a little bit with the heart instead of the head. A few of the Giants boys who I'm good mates with, they're in my team. I think the Giants are going to have a great year, and if their better players play good, then they'll score well at Supercoach. So I've got Whitfield, Tom Green, Steve Cornelio, and Toby Green as my Giants players. I went to Goey over Dacos, which is very, very controversial. But there's a little bit of method to that madness. And to be honest, there's a lot of players sort of around the 200k mark, players that have changed teams and gone to another team that they'll probably get more game time at that new team, and they'll probably go up in value. And Jordan's went from Melbourne to Sydney. Fife's going to play a bit more midfield. He's actually cheap as chips at the moment.
Wow.
Billings has gone from St Kilda to Melbourne as well, and Nick Coffield, who's gone to the Bulldogs. They're all very, very cheap, and I think if they play, they'll score well, you make your money, and then you cash it and you buy someone a bit better. So, but for me, it's about sort of getting that money in the bank, getting some players increasing in value, and then picking the best team after that.
Did any of the clowns the other night pick Jimmy Webster?
I don't think Jimmy would have been high up on the selection before he got his suspension, but. He definitely won't be anywhere near it at the moment. But it's, you know what, it's unfortunately he just made the wrong decision, and it is a split second decision, and people got to understand a little bit. Like, they're calling him a thug and all that sort of stuff. He's not a thug. He made the wrong decision, and AFL players make thousands of decisions during games, and that, for instance, is one of them. And he got it wrong, and he's obviously. Hurt the opposition player, and it didn't look great. It's not good for the game, and he's got his penalty. So I get a little bit frustrated when people are saying make an example of him, because I don't rate that. I just think we just need to punish him for what he did wrong, and that's whatever he did wrong, and this is the punishment he gets, and that's it. I don't think making an example of anyone is the right way to go about it.
Well said.
Supercoach itself, how has it grown, and how much do people really get into it?
Oh, it's absolutely nuts. And I'm telling you, these guys last night, as I was talking about the experts, they spend hours and hours and hours. And these guys are talking to each other all the time. They're keeping secrets from each other as well, because they want to beat
yes, of course, it's competitive.
There's over 180,000 people participate each year, and and obviously there's 50 grand up for grabs.
Yeah.
You know what the best bit is?
No.
About last year at Supercoach?
Yeah. What is it?
Nobody knows who the winner was.
Is that right? It's
So the winner,
anonymous.
obviously, you have his name or his account or whatever it is, but he didn't come out, did no interviews, did nothing. He took his cash and then he just went. So
How much?
That's even better.
50K.
50?
Yeah. I'm going to start doing it. Hey, what's
Free
the
to
salary?
enter.
Yeah, what's the
Free to
salary
enter
cap?
as well.
What do you do, Heath, as far as the salary cap goes? You know, you're mentioning buying a few players at 200K. What do you got to fit underneath?
Yeah, you've got a fair, like it's a pretty reasonable salary cap, but you do have to understand, like with the buys and all that sort of stuff, and then your top end players. You can't have, like I've done, too many from the same team, because when they have a buy, then you're left a bit short. But you got to have a good mix of your premium guys that right up the top that will score consistently, and then mix it in with hopefully a couple of rookies that will make you some money, and then you can upgrade as well.
That's a great point you made about Fife. Watched him the other night, played Port Adelaide, was in the midfield, getting plenty of it, and at one stage I think he had 3 kicks and 14 handballs. Like, he's in there, he's feeding it. He could be great value at that price.
Yeah, he will, and they've come out and said that he's going to play a lot more midfield time. Him up forward didn't really work that well, and just sort of hoping if he can stay healthy for the whole year that he will be a good scorer and he will be a good value for what he is.
We saw a few messages coming out about Razor Ray. Of course, Ray Chamberlain, a very famous umpire. They're going to allow him to throw the ball up at centre bounces because he's got a bad back. Would you like them to throw the ball up all the time?
To be honest, as a halfback flanker, I don't really care. I'm not involved in that. I'm just amazed, right? The AFL do whatever they want. Love the AFL. Do whatever they want. We've got round 0 and then round 1, so that's one change. And now we're actually changing the game for umpires with a little stiff back. Like, come on, Razor. We can't be doing this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm hearing you, brother. Hey, what's your super coach name? Is it the Heater? What are you?
Yeah,
Lord Heath Shaw.
Lord, I have seen that.
Yeah, I'm Lord Heath Shaw. But yeah, I've had this name from the very get go.
That's very good.
Now you'll be over for Gather Round. You got a couple of events at pubs. We'll promote that when we get a bit closer to it. It'll be here before we know it. Were you asked to be in that Gather Round box on like Daisy?
Yeah.
I actually was, yeah.
Oh.
But then they saw me when I was on SAS and saw what Sam Burgess did to me, and thought, they probably shouldn't let him get in the ring. No, I'm very comfortable.
You lasted longer than Acker.
Rather than the other. Yeah, I don't. If it's like especially with Swanee and Daisy, they're like, obviously they're mates and they're teammates and premiership teammates. It'll be funny because Swanee's a better boxer, but if Daisy clips him, then it could be on for young and old. I'm just hoping like someone slips one through, hits him on the chin, and then they just go wild. Cause, that'll be entertaining.
Oh, hey, do you miss Clubland? Do you miss playing?
Not really, no.
Okay.
But to be honest, I say this to people a lot. Like, I was lucky enough to play for 17 years, and the year after I finished the first final series, I was like, I actually miss finals. Like, finals is like what you want to be. You want to be that atmosphere is just unbelievable. But I'm more than comfortable sitting on the other side of the fence and letting the players of today have their time in the sun. As I said, I was lucky. I think I'm in only the 2% of all time. I played over 300 games, so I think I did all right, and I'm pretty happy with how my career ended up, and I'm very happy sitting on the other side of the fence.
Well, Premiership player, 2-time All-Australian, Kevin Sheedy medalist. Your record is outstanding. GWS or Collingwood this year? Because, God, both of them are going to be up their eyeballs, aren't they?
Yeah, they will. Even last year in the prelim, I went to that game and everyone's asking me if I'm going for it. And I'll being honest, I don't know, because I was like love Collingwood and love the way they've just progressed straight up the ladder from when Fly's taken over, and then obviously Giants. I've got a lot of good mates still at the Giants, and I want them to have that taste of success in a premiership. So Collingwood won it last year, so maybe they can let the Giants win it this year. But I think those two teams will probably finish in the top 4, and I'm going to the game on Saturday night up in Sydney. And just look out, because I could be maybe either presenting the ball or tossing the coin before the game. It is the Heath Shaw Cup, as we all know.
The Heath Shaw Cup.
That's
The
it.
Heater Cup.
This is it. Lord Heath Shaw.
Lord Heath Shaw Cup. Hey, mate, you're a ripper. We'll catch up when you're over here and promote what you're doing around the pubs in Adelaide for Gather Round, mate. Thanks for your time.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, he's a ripper, Heath Shaw. Supercoach ambassador.
What
Do
a
you do
career.
it? Do you do it?
173
Oh,
games
mate.
for Collingwood, 152 for GWS, 325 games over 17 years. That's a good
That's
football.
a career. And that smother.
Mm.
Oh,
iconic.
that's
iconic.
That smother.
It was almost
Ripper
like Saints are not really in this. They're having a bad day, but here's an easy goal.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. It was just horrendous.
When
for
you do
Saints.
your homework, guys, one of the first things you do is you type in the dude's name, see what's come up. You
Okay.
try and read other things other than Wikipedia. When you get to Wikipedia, it's got your career, Collingwood, then it's got GWS, it's page after page. And then you have a title called Controversies. Now, Timmy, you don't have them. I don't have them. His is...
He liked one.
Yeah, he was a scallywag. I love scallywags.
He was in there and about there.
His best mate is Toby Green. Two peas in a pod. His other best mate was Swanee. 2 peas in a pod. Love scallywags. Good ones.
Yeah, let's get out, gather round.
Love a bit of personality. It's 13 minutes to 6. Rossdale Homes, Adelaide's fixed price custom home builder, because trust is a must. Let's check your roads.
If there's any crash to look out for, Pulteney Street near Halifax Streets. At Prospect, another collision. Prospect Road near Baker Road. Another smash at Smithfield Plains, Curtis Road near Douglas Drive. Twisted traffic lights slowing things up at Kilburn, Prospect Road near Grand Junction Road, with cameras to Savo, Hallett Road, Stonyfell, and the Parade at McGill. Thinking of buying a bed? Head to Snooze and save half price on selected mattresses and bed frames. Hurry, the Snooze flash sale must end Monday. It's amazing what Snooze can do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
NRG Solar have moved to a new location. It's bigger and better, and their new warehouse is fully stocked with wholesale solar and battery equipment. So, if you're looking to save money on electricity and help our environment, don't wait. Visit NRG Solar at their new office on South Road, St Mary's, where every 3 customers refer someone they know, which means they must be doing something right. Call into NRG Solar at their new premises, 1275 South Road, or visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Back in '69, Frank Hutchison started a journey when he met Bill King, who ran a remote travel business. King needed four-wheel drive parts so strong, so reliable, they'd make the return trip after enduring the rigours of the Aussie outback. This forged Terrain Tamer's beginnings. Over 50 years later, Frank and his team continue to innovate and create parts strong enough to survive the toughest terrains on the planet. And best of all, the customer is still king. Terrain Tamer, parts that will get you home.
How awesome! Mawson Lakes Volkswagen has plenty of Tiguans and Amaroks in stock. Tiguan Allspace is a 7-seater with plenty of room and plenty of smarts, featuring auto park, adaptive cruise control and lane assist. And the latest generation Amarok has a big 1-ton payload and 3.5-ton towing capacity. But inside, you'll get all the comforts of a luxury vehicle. There's plenty of stock that must go. Hurry in for a deal. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
You deserve a new car. And you definitely deserve a holiday. You could win a Mercedes and a luxury getaway to the Maldives. But you've got just 2 days until the bonus deadline in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Plus, your tickets stay in the draw for the $3.6 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize at Henley Beach. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. HomeLottery.com.au. Licence M14493.
Get a read on a year worth of sport with The Advertiser for just $99 for the first 12 months. But hurry, this deal is for a limited time only. So get in the game and search The Advertiser to subscribe. T's and C's apply, new customers only.
A farmer injured on a remote station. A child with a snake bite. A motor vehicle accident. Far and wide, anywhere in South Australia, your Royal Flying Doctor Service is always there to help. But they can't do their life-saving work without your help. March 7 is Double Up for the Doc Day, where your donation will be matched by our partners. Please donate on March 7. Visit flyingdoctor.com.au.
The deals are coming. Get ready because Afterpay Day is back, baby. March 14 to 17 is go time with up to 70% off top brands. Paid in full with Afterpay, in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Visit afterpay.com for full terms.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
9 minutes to 6, Jade Rawlings coming up shortly, and give us a call, 8223 0000. The AFL's cracking down on concussion. They're exploring community footballers at junior and senior level to wear helmets, have you say?
Let's go to Croydon Park and get Peter's thoughts. G'day, Peter.
G'day, gents. I think what gets lost in this whole discussion about concussion is that when you get on a footy field, you realise that you have to understand there are inherent risks associated with playing the game, and one of them is concussion. And there's other injuries too, like long-term issues with possible arthritis, etc., etc. So why really should you be allowed to sue if you know that when you get on that field, there are risks associated with playing the game? It's like me riding my bike on the road. The government can have laws around, distance from cars and, reduced speeds, etc., etc. But there are inherent risks associated with doing that. And does that entitle me to then sue the government if something happens to me? Because at the end of the day, and it applies to all extreme or dangerous sports or potential where there's risk for injury, and etc. in various sports, it shouldn't automatically allow you to sue the AFL because you've incurred these injuries, regardless of the changes in the laws and the fact that they're coming down harder on concussion, etc., etc. But still, you shouldn't be entitled or allowed to sue because you've suffered long-term issues with concussion because you know the inherent risks associated with playing the sport.
Yeah, it's unsavoury for me, and this class action is 100+ players, mates of mine that I've played footy with and others that you've played against, you know the names. There's some real high-profile ones, and I just think, well, would I do it? No. If I don't know, an ambulance-chasing lawyer knocked on my door and said, mate, you can make an easy 50 grand here, I'd still say no. I think it's, and the other thing I think with that, Pete, I think it's unfair. I played AFL, I was lucky enough to do so. A dear mate of mine, my captain Gary McIntosh, didn't. He
didn't want
to. Or an amateur league person, or you, Timmy, can't. I mean, I just think it leaves a nasty taste in my mouth.
Yeah, look,
it just does. We all knew when we played the inherent risks of doing so. And you speak to anyone in our era, we will all say we wouldn't change our era for anything.
Do it again.
We loved it because you play for your mates, your jumper, community, your friendships and all of that. And then you roll forward, I don't know, 20 years. Was it the drugs they took when they played? Was it a hit they got in their head when they were a kid? Was it all the
you just don't know what's going to happen.
Beer they drank? Was it in their DNA? Was it in their genetics? I mean, there's no lawyer or doctor could prove that football caused those injuries.
We'll find out. Let's go to Brian at Port Noarlunga. G'day, Brian.
How you going, Rory and Tim?
Good, buddy.
I just want to say, with a helmet, I don't think it'll work because when I played cricket, I got hit in the head, knocked out unconscious. But then you put a helmet on the week after and then you wear it after that. It gives you more confidence. You can play different shots. So with a footballer, with a helmet on, he'll go in harder because he knows he's got a helmet on.
Which might not be a good thing, Brian, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. We had a text earlier that said maybe that would give them a false sense of security and encourage poor technique as well from Michael. So
well, I'm seeing more
on the
and
same
more of
page
that.
there, Brian. So,
I'm seeing more and more of that.
Let's
especially in women's footy.
Well, yeah.
Put a helmet on them, good luck.
Let's go to Craigmore and speak to Luke. Okay, Luke.
Hey, lads. For these stupid smart people that make all these silly rules and think tank idea, actually listen to the professionals regarding the headwear.
Hope so.
They don't, clearly, because the professionals are saying that a little foam pad around your noggin ain't going to do nothing when you get hit, because it's not the impact of like two heads. It's the brain hitting the inside of your brain hitting the skull.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is. So,
Yep.
like, and the previous caller, he just stole my thunder. Like, my kid, he plays under 10, right? And last year, he didn't have a mouth guard because he had all the teeth on them out, you know. This year, he really wanted one. Already, I noticed that he's putting himself into silly positions because he's got that confidence, and that's just with a mouth guard. You know, like, we've got to teach it, and credit to the Swordsman-off coaches, they are teaching the kids now how to attack the ball properly and protect their head early. So I think education is a lot better than litigation. And honestly, mate, these stupid smart people that make rules who have got no idea about the game, the world's gone bad.
I hear you. Stupid smart people. Isn't that a beauty? Oxymoron.
Yeah.
Hello, Enyo.
Hey, boys, how you going?
Good, buddy.
Yeah, good. I was just discussing the concussion bit, but more so extending it to other sports. And you might recall I played soccer most of my life, and there were bans around the juniors stopping headering the ball because of potential damage, headering the ball. So, do we extend helmets to soccer players trying to head at balls now? So, I don't know. Where do you draw the line? It's just, I said, I played in the era where we had big leather balls, not the soft balls that they got today. So I was a big centre half, and let me tell you, I headed a lot of balls in my time.
Oh, God. Well, I hope you're right, Enyo.
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Absolutely fine.
How many fingers am I holding up?
No, hang on. Hold them up again, Rowey.
Very good. Keep calling in, 82230000. Still got that $100 Kent Town Hotel voucher. Do you like any of those callers, fellas? You can give it away here if you like.
Oh, gee, you were straight on.
$100 Kent Town Hotel voucher.
We'll have a little think at the 6 o'clock news.
This is a good top decision. Really is. Sydney and Melbourne have named their first teams of the AFL season for 2024. Clayton Oliver is named. Max Gawn will go up against Brodie Grundy, as we know, for the Swans, so this will be an interesting one. No real surprises, though. There's a few outs for the Swans with their injuries to Luke Parker, Taylor Adams, Callum Mills. They've got to play some younger lads in the midfield, but it'll be a good contest tomorrow night at the SCG. It's 2 minutes to 6. Jade Rawlings to join us after the news.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
CMAX Clinical Research are calling all generally healthy adults aged 18 to 65 to take part in important medical research. An exciting opportunity to trial a potential medication that could decrease the risk of a coronary artery disease for people who have predisposed risk factors. Stay at CMAX for 2 consecutive nights and days and attend up to 12 visits to help pave the future of modern medicine. All eligible participants are paid for their time. Interested? Apply for C08123 at cmax.com.au.
Want to rev up your energy levels without energy drinks or carb-heavy snack bars? Do you care about the health of your heart? Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus Ubiquinol to the rescue. Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus Ubiquinol is a game-changing formula with powerhouse nutrients to support energy production, maintain your energy levels, and maintain the health of your heart. Rev up your energy and get more out of your day with Caruso's Vitamin K2 plus Ubiquinol. Available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Around 2,300 Australian children live with childhood dementia. But where there's hardship, there's local legends hard at work. Little Heroes Foundation is dedicated to finding treatments and, in time, a cure for childhood dementia. They're teaming up with High Fresh Salads so you too can make a difference. Purchase any High Fresh Salads products with the Little Heroes Foundation logo, and a portion of the proceeds support children living with dementia. Find High Fresh Salads at your local independent supermarket and greengrocer.
What makes Ray White the big name in business broking? They're people, like multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year, Brett Buckley, and his team of business professionals. They take a deep dive into your business, finding value and potential, and they know what they're looking for, because they know businesses. They're not real estate salespeople trying to sell businesses, they're business people selling businesses. If you want to know what your business is worth, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Multiple Business Broker of the Year awards.
Discover what is on the road less travelled at Mazda's home in the hills, Mount Barker Mazda. The Mazda BT50 Unmissable Sales event is on now with free registration and free stamp duty. We won't be beaten on price. Unbelievable offers across the range must end soon. T's and C's at mountbarkermazda.com.au. For unbeatable prices on BT50s, take the road less travelled to Mount Barker Mazda. Great service since 1954. Mount Barker Road, Totnes, LMVD 325189.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, 17. Sunny tomorrow, 33. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
The exceptional sale is on at Berkowitz. Save 25 to 50% off all Berkowitz furniture. Ends soon.
There's a major bushfire emergency response in Narracourt. A blaze is being fought from the ground and air. The scrub fire is burning in a northeasterly direction toward Martins Road and Valley View Road. A Watch and Act message has been issued informing people to leave now as the bushfire may threaten your safety. There's been a serious crash at Delamere. 2 cars came together on Main South Road this afternoon. The road is blocked to all traffic. There are diversions in place. Mark Ray Hayden, who covered up the bodies in the Barrels cereals murder, has faced court as the state government tries to have him declared a high-risk offender. It'll mean the 65-year-old is subject to supervision when he's released on May 21st after 25 years behind bars. He's currently transitioning in the Adelaide Pre-Release Centre. The judge refused permission for an artist to sketch him during the hearing because it may be counterproductive to his attempt to re-enter the community. The Prime Minister is rejecting claims Thailand has raised concerns about Australia's car emissions plan. Michael Packy has more.
The Thai PM has been among a number of Southeast Asian leaders in Melbourne for the special ASEAN summit. Streta Tavasan raised concerns about the Albanese government's new vehicle emissions standard. Thailand is a key manufacturer of utes and SUVs and exports 200,000 vehicles to Australia each year. The official Thai government website claims Mr Tavasan urged Anthony Albanese to stagger or delay the implementation of the new standards, but our PM maintains that's not the case.
I met with the Thai Prime Minister that it wasn't raised.
Mr Albanese says overall the special ASEAN gathering has been a success, which will help Australian businesses grow their footprint in the region.
Economists are predicting weak economic growth to continue for much of this year, but say there's a silver lining for Australian homeowners. The nation's GDP has softened to 1.5% for 2023. New data also shows households are cutting back on spending amid pressure from high costs. CommSec Chief Economist Craig James says the pain isn't over yet, but it's another sign the Reserve Bank may cut interest rates this year.
What that's going to mean is less pressure on available labour, which means wages won't be rising so much and putting pressure on prices and therefore interest rates. But at the end of the rainbow, later this year, we expect the Reserve Bank will be in a position to be able to cut rates.
Donald Trump is now in the box seat to win the Republican nomination for the US election. He dominated the states on Super Tuesday. The former president already speaking like he's back in the White House.
We are going to do it right. We're going to have the greatest economy ever in the history of our country. We're going to top what we did. We're going to become an energy center of the world. We were ready to become energy dominant, and we're going to pay off debt. We're going to do things that nobody thought was possible.
Nikki Haley won her first state and her second primary overall, narrowly beating Trump in Vermont. Now turning to 5AA's sport, and the Crows will be without Riley Thilthorpe for some time. Josh Rochelle says what was initially thought to be 4 weeks on the sidelines is now looking more like 3 months.
Very disappointing. Riley was probably one of our standouts from pre-season, so he had his surgery today and he'll be looking to bounce back.
The 2024 AFL season has been officially launched in Sydney. The AFL has announced a tribute for former goal umpire Jesse Baird and his partner Luke Davies prior to tomorrow night's opener between Sydney and Melbourne at the SCG. Clubs and umpires will also wear black armbands as a mark of respect following the couple's alleged murder. Geelong is eyeing a return to September action this year. Cats ruckman Rhys Stanley says showing promise in the pre-season counts for little.
All this talk of a really good pre-season and stuff, at the end of the day we've got to go and play now, and we've got to go and prove ourselves against really quality opposition. So we can't have too much to say this early in the year. It's a really long year. So we've got to get to work, put ourselves back up amongst the top runners.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
No better time or place to jump in at Jayco than at Jayco Adelaide's brand new West Beach dealership.
G'day there, a crash in the city to look out for Pulteney Street near Halifax Street, another one at Prospect Road near Baker Road, and a Smithfield plane to crash there too, Curtis Road near Douglas Drive. Twisted traffic light at Kilburn, Prospect Road near Grand Junction Road with a camera Briar Road at Felixstowe. Smash meal time with DoorDash daily specials, $5 burritos, half off pizzas and more. Check out the app to see what special is cooking next. Smash it, DoorDash it. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, down to 17. Sunny tomorrow, 33. Friday, sunny and 37. Then a hot one on Saturday, mostly sunny and 40. Right now, it's 31 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you, I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. A man's been arrested at gunpoint in the city after allegedly attacking shop workers. Fire crews are battling a bushfire in the southeast as SA's autumn heatwave has been forecast to get even hotter. And scientists say low iron levels could be a trigger for long COVID. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app
On DAB Digital Radio
and on 1395 AM.
This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 after 6. Love your calls. 8223 0000. We've been talking about helmets being introduced potentially into community football. Have you say 8223 0000 because every caller that goes to air on this show for the next couple of weeks wins or goes into the running, to win a Benzina sports scooter. All thanks to Steinborner Automotive. Always worth the trip. Hyundai, Ford, Mitsubishi and Mazda across the group. Steinborner.com.au.
Yeah, well, Rowey, the sample season of 2024 is gearing up. The season opener is March 28 under lights. It'll be Norwood v Sturt, an absolute cracker. We got the Norwood 2022 Premiership coach on the line, Jade Rawlings. G'day, Twig.
Afternoon, boys. How's it going?
Excellent. So, tell us, 23 season never really got started. How's your pre-season been for 24?
Really positive. When you finish early the previous year, you get a bit more time to recalibrate and session. So we were able to start slightly earlier than the previous year and have more people available to complete the high percentage of the training. So we've had a really positive summer. Unfortunately, we've incurred a couple of injuries just in the last couple of weeks, which a byproduct of being having to train at a level to be ready for the season. But all in all, we're still armed and ready to go to compete.
They're not injuries that we're talking long term, are they? Are they just the sort of 1 or 2 weeks?
Unfortunately, a couple of 12-weekers. So we had one of our players, Oliver Sanders, displace his ankle at a training session the other Saturday, which required an ambulance out on the ground, which was pretty confronting for the other guys. And unfortunately, Jack Saunders hurt his ankle the other day in our intra-club practice match, which necessary evils to be able to play to try and prepare yourself. But unfortunately, looks like he's going to have surgery as well. So we've had a couple of annoying ones that come and pop up, but we've got, I think, 48 to 50 players available to play in North Adelaide this week. So the bigger picture, okay, but unfortunately, feel bad for a few individuals. They're not going to be able to start the season with their teammates.
Of course, we saw the forecast. It's going to be quite warm to begin with. So game's been brought forward 11:40. Will there be one of those 10-minute breaks for drinks and things like that?
Oh, we've actually brought it forward again to 10:30. I spoke to North Adelaide yesterday, just projecting that we both need and want to play. And we've got player and umpire safety to consider. So we've brought our reserves forward to 8:30 start, and then it's been at 10:30. So we're hoping that that'll enable us to be able to get a productive game and keep people able to perform, but also keep them safe.
You've lost some midfield, or premiership midfield class and Grunt Twig in Nunny and Rokar, to name a couple. Who have you got coming through to replace them?
Been pretty fortunate, Rowey, with the acquisition of a few players. So Jordan Boyle, this guy who's played a lot of footy at West Adelaide. He stepped away from this SANFL scene last year and was available at the end of last year to want to recommence. So I think he's going to be a positive addition. We've got a guy from Tasmania called Ben Simpson who has played at North Launceston, been a really successful and productive player down there over the last 3 to 4 years. And also we're able to get Mitch O'Neill from South Adelaide, who I think the three of us would all know who's had a major impact on the competition over the last 3 years. And so we've found that was really big deal for us to be able to get his services, but he's made a big difference to our team and our club. We've also got Cooper Murley and Alistair Lord, who Norwood juniors who have been in the AFL system the last 2 years, who have come back to us thankfully. So we'll be able to get a good age profile and guys who are familiar at this level of footy will be ready to hit the ground running. So we think there's a lot of possibility with who can go through the midfield. Lewis, Roker and Nunn. People talk to me sometimes about who's their replacement. I actually don't believe in replacements because everyone's different, but I'd like to think we've got surplus in relation to people who are capable to play the midfield for us.
Yeah. Have you worked on any game tweaks or needed to, or structure or method about how Nord play?
Very minor detail, Rowey. At the core, what we believe in as a club and what I believe as a coach won't change. There are certain ways that you always want to probably try and be stronger at, and we put some time into that. But at the core, our philosophy of what we think works to compete and win games and stand up at the pointy end of the season is just continue to do what we do at a high level and keep getting our group at a level of conditioning that's going to be able to perform that over the course of the season. So I'm big on being able to spend the time that people know each other, understand each other, and team chemistry is a big part of what successful teams have. So that's been a high emphasis for us. And enjoy what you do, boys. It makes a big difference over the course of your career because it does comes and goes very quickly, as we all know.
Hey, Jade, one player I'm interested in, I loved when I was watching him before he got picked up in the mid-season draft, was Jackson Callow. He came back, but he was injured. How's his pre-season been, and is he going to play a major part in the way your forward line's going to look?
Yeah, a lot will shape around him, Tim. He's big man. He's strong. He's the last month of the season when he did return from injury was full of merit. He was really consistent and had big impact on the way we performed back into the season. He's had a full summer, so we love Jacko. He's popular within the playing group. He's an emerging leader, and most of us at Clubland who are trying to assemble the best potential list with key forwards are the ones you look at and think are really handy to have. So we're pretty lucky to have Jacko, and yeah, he's got great aerobic capacity and he's aggressive. So it's another layer of key forwards that's not natural, and so we couldn't be more pleased that he's had a good run at it through the summer, and he's really improving. So we're really pleased with what he brings and who he is as a person, and we do a lot of it. What we want to be will shape around how he performs forward of the ball.
And Harry Boyd, we know Premier Ruckman in the competition. How's his pre-season, and what do you have up your sleeve as far as second ruck options go?
Yeah, Boyd's been very good. He's a winner. He's always driven to add more to his game, and what he's very big on what Nord can achieve as well. So love Harry for that. The second ruck is interesting. We've had a young ruckman called Alex Van Wyk who's developed over the course of back end of 22 and then all of last year. We've got Luke Sermon, who is an outstanding second ruck option because he's quality and with centre bounce work and around the ground, but also as a genuine forward. And we've got another young guy, Finn Hurd, who's been emerging over the last 2 to 3 seasons. And he's someone who'll get some looks at being that second ruck forward option for us over certainly this week and potentially the week after. So we're pretty open with who that can be at this stage, and that's why as clubs we value these practice matches because someone will jump up that we probably hadn't either planned on or hadn't probably thought would be the primary option. So it's pretty exciting for us to be able to see what jumps up over these next 2 games.
I think that ruck contest rule will help Boydie immensely. The Samplers adopted all of them, including the smother rule, severe impact gradings, the rundown tackles, what's the other one, striking and the fend off. Have you had to, on the back of let's look at the AFL in recent weeks. A bloke rubs out for 7 weeks. A bloke before gets retired for a head knock. Are you having to spend time on how you approach a contest with your players? I call it the fabric of the game, whether it be a tackle or protecting themselves and that. And is this concussion, I don't know, being spooked all the way down the grades to the sample, Twig?
Yeah, it's real, Rowey, and every club will be able to talk to situations of individuals who had issues with it and what incident led to it, all that sort of stuff. We train a very combative way, so we try and prepare our players for the demands of the game, but we're very strong on how we tackle each other, one, to protect each other, but two, for what's right when it comes to game day. So we're really strong on any potential sling tackling in our training. We think technically we coach the contest quite well in relation to how to win it, but also protect yourself. So it's incumbent on all of us as clubs and as coaches that we're doing what the game demands, but also got a real vigilance around player protection. Call it safety, I'm not sure what the right word is. But, yeah, it's real. I had experience with Angus Brayshaw at Melbourne over the course of 8 years, and I saw the challenges of when he returned from really serious issues in 2016, I think it was, and then he broke through it, and then we all know what happened last year and then what it's led to. So it's real, and any of us who might have been brought up in the 80s and 90s got a different view. We're getting left behind because what's modern expectations now is what's real. And, I think we've all got a responsibility to monitor how our players really are going, how they report, and then also how we train them up to be ready for what the demands of the game are.
And Jade, last but not least, state coach again, but not one but 2 games. One against the Vics and one against WA. Excited?
I think it's brilliant. I think you guys are passionate South Australians, and Victoria has been seen a pretty major rival, I would have thought, over the years, and for that to be revitalised, I think it's reflective of how their SANFL have gone about establishing consistency with the rivalry against Western Australia over the last few years, and for it to bubble up to have 2 games. I've been fielding calls from players around the comp about wanting to make sure that they've known that to be available, and that's where my excitement comes from. I'm going to work with both of you guys in this state program, and when you got people want to be at the forefront of being part of it rather than us trying to convince them, then you know you've got a really genuine product. And for it to be on gather round, people will say, how are you going to pick the team? We'll do it easily and we'll do it positively because there's a lot of people who want to play in it. So, really, really bullish about what the game will be like, the crowd attendance and the experience we create for our players, and that they get to play in front of a big crowd and they get the incentive to be able to travel and play at a stadium like Optus Stadium this year. So I think it's a great part of the year, and I love that our competition and our players and clubs and coaches all support it.
Can I have my job back, please, Jade? Timmy, he said, you've had the board lolly, I'm now the Hague's chocolate. So, just not fair, Twig.
Well, it's amazing when you step away from something, right? It makes you want it a bit more, doesn't it?
Oh, God. No, well done. All the best, mate. Have a great season. My club, Nord, we're in good hands.
Good on you, fellas. Thanks for the chat.
Jade Rawlings, Nord Football Club head coach and the
so
state
impressive.
Head coach this year, once again, our guest. And, look, mate, I'm only keeping it warm. Whenever you're ready,
I had,
you will be the man.
13, 14 years, I loved it. You've done a great job. So what have we got? So we got Victoria Gather Round.
Correct.
Saturday at Glenelg. And then in May, WA
over in WA. I think it's
exciting.
going to be played at Optus Stadium too.
And I know the players, it was great to hear that. Players are ringing. Twig, hey, I'm available.
Raring to go.
19 after 6.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Adelaide is in fringe mode and you'll see the hottest shows at Gluttony. Thanks to 9 News and 5AA, you could win tickets and hospitality for you and 3 friends. Watch 9 News nightly at 6 for the daily featured show. Then listen to Breakfast with us, David and Will, 6 to 9 weekdays on 5AA. The hottest shows are at Gluttony.
Some Austrac campers come with smart TVs, so you can still go away camping and not miss your favourite streaming episode. Oh, Ma! I knew he was going to cheat on her.
Austrac campus! More than 17,000 Australians, both young and old, will die from stroke or heart attack caused by hypertension or high blood pressure this coming year. Many could be prevented through early detection, but right now an Adelaide research team is seeking volunteers for a study to trial a potential treatment. If you've been diagnosed with moderate hypertension and you're between 18 and 72, you could be eligible. Go to fusiontrials.com.au/hypertension or call 08 7077 6996. You will be compensated for your time.
Motoring with Adelaide Hills Motor Group.
It's the SUV brand that few people knew about, and now it's the one they can't stop talking about. Of course, I'm talking about the Ineos Grenadier, the premium old-school off-roader with slick modern tech. You've probably jumped on their website and built your own, but do yourself a favour and get behind the wheel. They've got a range of Ineos Grenadiers right here at Adelaide Hills Motor Group. They do live up to the hype. Come and take a look. See you soon at Adelaide Hills Motor Group, Glen Osmond Road at Fullerton.
If you thought a good house inspector was hard to find, well, take a look at House Inspect Australia. Mike Pearl and his team are Australia's most qualified house inspectors.
Mike's very passionate about helping find cures to rare diseases by supporting the Rare Find Foundation. So he has dedicated the rest of this ad to them.
The Rare Find Foundation helps improve the lives of people affected by rare diseases and supports their families and carers too.
Learn more about the organisation or make a donation at rarefindfoundation.org.
The deals are coming. Get ready because Afterpay Day is back, baby. March 14 to 17 is go time with up to 70% off top brands. Paid in full with Afterpay, in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Visit afterpay.com for full terms.
Arj Barker is back for the Adelaide Fringe to answer some of life's biggest questions with his brand new show, The Mindfield.
I have a lot of respect for millennials. In fact, I got a lot of respect for anybody that's over 1,000 years old. And I'm not going to make fun of them. I'm going to try to get health tips. As I've seen their photos on Instagram, they look amazing for their age.
Arj Barker, The Mindfield. Feb 16 to March 9 in the Garden. Book now at adelaidefringe.com.au.
The glass bottle is back. Flurio Milk Company are proud to bring you milk in a glass bottle. Look for milk refill stations in your supermarket. Purchase your own glass bottle, fill it, take it home, drink it, wash it, and bring it back to use again. No plastic, no waste. Just fresh Flurio milk in a glass bottle. It's like the good old days, but better. Look for milk refill stations in your local supermarket or visit fluriomilkco.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 6, 8223 is the number. We've been giving you a chance to chat on the program earlier for a Kent Town Hotel $100 voucher. We've got a winner tonight. We're going to give it away to Peter at Croydon. Congratulations. You can head off to the Kent Town Hotel. Check out their brand new award-winning Kent Town Hotel bar, restaurant, balcony and 250-seat function room.
Well, boys, I tell you what, drag racing is coming back to the Bend. It's going to be across April 5 to April 7, correct? The Nationals is on. And here's a little line for you. Thursday and Friday night a gather round. The Crows and Port play. So then get down to the Bend. That's how it all rolls out. And we've got one of the top fuel drivers on the line, Phil Reid. G'day, Phil. Excellent, thank you, sir. Now, you're pretty keen, and your last outing at the Bend didn't go that flash, not to plan, but coming off your recent win at Perth, you'd be up and about for this one.
No, our last outing there was you could say horrendous, but hopefully my brother's not listening. He's the tuner of the car, but
yes.
we actually started off with a new tune-up, and we finally got a handle on it in Perth last weekend and managed to get away with the win. So we built Phil Amateur in the final, and it was a really good weekend over there, and I'm sure we're going to get another huge crowd to the Bend like we did last time. It was pretty much a sellout last time we were there.
Unbelievable crowd, and I think everybody was just craving it being back in South Australia. Of course, it's a family affair. Your father was a famous drag racer. You got your brother working in the team. How is the team going, and how are the car looking?
So we start off a new tune-up the start of the year, and my brother is just starting to get a hand on it, him and Corey Summerson. And, I'm really confident going into the Bend that, we can take it up to the Rapasada cars who set they set the bar last time we were there. They nearly ran the national record down there at the bend. So I'm sure the times are going to be fast and the speeds will be high. And you got 2 cars of 12,000 horsepower sitting behind each driver over 1,000 feet.
Yeah. So what speeds are we talking, Phil?
500 kilometres, 530 kilometres an hour.
Wow.
So 0 to 160 in less than a second. So by about 0.886 to 89 of a second, we're hoping to be doing 160 kilometres an hour.
So what are the G-forces with that? God, you'd want to have a good pair of jocks, Phil.
Yeah, it's 5.5 Gs, so it's the same as the space shuttle leaving Cape Canaveral.
Wow.
Oh, is it still a quarter? What's it, a quarter mile? What's the drag distance?
Due to safety reasons, we actually run to 1,000 feet, which is
okay.
But then every other class runs quarter mile. So it's just Goodyear and the tyre company started to get a bit concerned when we started to get up towards the 340 miles an hour mark.
Okay.
That the tyres wouldn't handle it, so they cut us back to 1,000 feet. Actually, a couple of drivers in America got killed, and they just deemed that the runoff area in case something went wrong wasn't long enough. I mean, the bend's got plenty of runoff, but
it's world class.
Yeah. So, but it's state of the art. It's probably the best racetrack in the world at the moment. That's because it's brand new, and they've taken ideas from all around the world and put it into that facility.
Oh God, how good a testimony is that? That was from Phil Reid, the best in the world.
That?
So, do you shoot one of those parachutes out your clacker when you get to the finish line?
You have to.
So we have 2 parachutes on the back, carbon fibre brakes. So, and that's the driver's job to pack them. That way, if they fail, you're the only one that can be blamed. So,
goodness me,
that's a great call. That one.
You don't get your brother to pack it.
No. Or actually, you mentioned family affair. My dad's obviously he drove for a long time. My brother tunes, I drive. My son works on the car. My nephew, he works on the car. My wife and my brother's wife run all the corporate area. But yeah, and all the boys, I mean, there's 17 of us who went to Perth, so.
Wow.
Well, welcome to South Australia when it comes the Nationals at the Dragway at the Bend on April 5 to 7. It'll be an awesome affair. We'll get a massive crowd out there for you once again, Phil, and all the best this time, mate. I hope it goes well for you.
I hope to see everybody out there. Come up and say hello, and you won't be disappointed in the show.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. The best in the
world.
world. How's that for a wrap?
I think they had 22,000 one day. They'll beat that.
That's amazing. Well, if you want to head along, we've got a double 3-day pass to give away.
Oh, yeah?
8223 should be an outstanding event, as you said, April 5 to 7. You can go to thebend.com.au as well. 28 after 6. Where are they now next?
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Beck from Go Vita at Manapara. Try NutriVital Premium Stress and Anxiety 60 tabs, now $29.95, save 40%, for those moments when life gets a little too hectic. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Manapara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Australia's largest indoor caravan showroom now has even more to explore. Come into Dave Benson Caravans to see the new range of Victory caravans, plus a huge selection of Essential, Highline, Network RV and Cub campers with new features and layouts. We have over 100 new and pre-loved vans and campers, all undercover and all ready for immediate delivery, so you can enjoy your next getaway straight away. See what's available at Dave Benson Caravans, 64 Grand Junction Road, Kilburn, or online at davebensoncaravans.com.au.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
The cost of living keeps rising. Thankfully, so does the sun. That's why more Aussies are getting smart with solar.